Let's go.
Well, how about that?
Dude.
We're like we said, for those who have not seen our other reactions that we've done, we said this too. Like, this team is overachieving. Like, this is, who would have thought this team would overachieve at this point of the year? It's bad enough that my buddy Tyler can't speak.
Dude, I can't explain how excited I am, man. Like, dude, I expected this team to get bounced out of a wild card. How they just how they just crawled and limped their way into the playoffs. I didn't expect this team to play as hard as they've been playing.
Well,
and for them to be for them to be one win away from the World Series, bro.
For the first time since 2009.
For the first time since 2009 that they've been here. What?
It's nuts to where of how this team has achieved. Well, yeah, yes, we know. Now, is overachieving a bad thing? Sometimes no. Yes and no at times, depending how you look at it. But it's really.
I feel like it's more of a bad thing if you look at it from like a football standpoint.
Yes, sir. You love to see it, though. How about the fucking?
But but here's the thing: the only way it's a bad thing is if baseball has a salary cap. Baseball does not have a salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. All they have is a luxury tax. That's all they have. They don't have a salary cap, so it's not much of a bad thing.
It's not like
how football.
Football, basketball, and the NHL.
No, basketball runs the same way as
and absolutely too. And from the Popa Sports Entertainment, yeah, and I think he's a diehard Howard Yankees fan. Yeah, and that's what Tyler's saying. No one had us going. It's like
not even us. Here's the thing: not even us. I didn't even expect them to get this far. Really is. I was thinking in the NLDS, here's our roadblock. We're playing Atlanta, who was supposed to be exponentially better.
We one of the best
because they have won the division, one of the best teams in the MLB, and we took them out in 4.
Well, that's what happens when you had that long layoff and not get in. Well, the pitchers were pretty somewhat okay for Atlanta, but it's just and like you said, and like the Post said, we got hot at the right time, and we took advantage of every single. And Atlanta had their share of mistakes. Now, for those who have not,
but here's the thing: we were able to win games with timely hitting, working the count,
small ball,
small ball, working the counts, the occasional long ball, here and there.
Long ball. But tonight,
we've been able to do. But hold on, we've been able to win games with our pitching. Small ball, working the counts, taking their opposing pitchers out within the 4th or 5th inning, which is big. It helps us to add on runs with the bullpen.
It was shocking. And for those who don't remember, a couple of years ago, that's always been one of our biggest Achilles heel. And for some reason, whatever changes that Dombrowski, since Dombrowski came in, he's really, really rectified. And not just that.
He's done a tremendous job.
Absolutely, man.
A tremendous job, my guy. You can't
really ask more of that.
His first off season, or technically second off season. His second off season was a complete success.
Oh yeah.
Him actually making moves at the deadline to help bolster this team. Amazing job. He took a chance on Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh contributed. Noah Syndergaard was good in the playoffs for us. The entire team is good.
If I'm Dombrowski, keep that man in the bullpen, because I feel like that's where he's come. I feel like that's where we've seen Evelyn get comfortable. Now we're seeing Syndergaard kind of comfortable. Like, the thing with Dombrowski is, yes, we know the track record he has, and at times he does. I think he has like one World Series ring, and that was in the late '90s. The fact
97, he won it with the Marlins.
That's talking about
by accident, because they were a rebuilding team and they won it by accident. They're basically the Guardians of this year, but
that's for sure. And the way that and this also, you can also take into the fact that during the regular season, like, Dombrowski saw, like, the issues. Remember when we got Familia, cut his ass immediately. Odubel, how many times we've been asking for him to get his ass released? Dombrowski answer that wish.
Didi, he saw the writing on the wall with Didi.
Well, Didi was also getting older as well.
He was getting older, but and his defense took a hit and his offense took a hit, but it was the sign of him getting older.
And yeah,
he's not.
I mean,
he's not a spring chicken. He's not as limber as he can. He can't.
I mean,
he couldn't get to the ball as fast.
But at least we have a guy. And how about Bryson stepping up to the occasion in the postseason?
Bryson Stott has really stepped it up in the entire playoffs. Wild card, he stepped up. NLDS, he stepped up. In this series, he stepped up.
Especially tonight.
Proud of this kid, man. I'm proud
even
of this
though
kid.
we don't.
And you know what's even funny? But you know what's even better about this? Him stepping up in the playoffs? Guess who was at the game last night and he stepped up?
Oh, that's right.
His own sister was there.
It really
he showed up in front of his sister, man.
It's just like, yes, and there are times too, man. We've seen rookies in the postseason that struggle. I mean, yes, we know, and we talked about this before. We dogged on, Stott offensively. We know how good he is defensively, but offensively, he was just not the best. But
he went back to the minors for a few days. It was for 10 days or something.
I think 10 days.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there long. He said, "Look, Philly is criticizing my offensive game. Let me see what I could do to fix that." He came back up and he fixed it, and he was good for the rest of the season. And he's also,
and it's the same way from another guy we talked about. And that's Alec Boehm.
Alec Boehm defensively had that 3-error game. Had that 3-error game in April. After that, he's been bolstering his defense, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And even though in the postseason he has been red hot, but he has his moments. Like
his moments where he struggles, but every player does. They're human.
Especially for a team that has first timers in the post, have been finally playing in the postseasons for the first time in their careers. So I mean,
I am happy. Real Muto and Segura get their shot.
I think later tonight though. How about Hoskins coming up huge with two-run shots and drives 4 of the 10.
This man is like a toxic relationship. One day it's going good, the next he's a complete a-hole.
Like it's like make it for me. Like the way that I see it, I mean, why not just let him DH? Because if he's good offensively, let him. The way that I see
here's the thing, he's too streaky. There's moments where he goes 0 for 4, and then next moment he's hitting bombs.
Same. And how credit where credit is due. How about Castellanos too? At the same time, even though we give him tremendous amount of shit. At the same time,
here's the thing. I know it's a weird coincidence thing. He's had this weird coincidence.
Just we're bad timing. Is basically what
it's just bad timing every time. Here's the thing. The day the Queen dies, nothing happens. The next day he's hitting bombs. The day Hagrid dies, he hits he hits like a couple hits in the playoffs. I'm like, why do you only hit when bad crap happens, dude?
Yeah, 90. Hey, exactly, 90. This
I really don't get that song. I don't get it. Like, I'd rather hear a High Hopes than that cheesy pop song. I hate it. It's so cheesy. Like, why that song? Who chose it?
And look, I'll give the Padres the benefit of the doubt. I'll give them their flowers. They took a game from us. We'll give them their flowers. The only flowers I won't give is the crappy rap. Crappy rap you guys were doing, man. Come on, man.
Do better. Don't do that. I know all fans aren't like that.
But damn,
that specific group, we don't like you. It's our song now, Tyler.
He's listening on repeat.
Here's the thing. It's cheesy. I don't like it. But if it's the same as Dreams and Nightmares and it works,
I never really. And this is the way that I see it too.
That Meek Mill song in 2017 when they were playing it, Dreams and Nightmares, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
For me, that's a really good song. But look, it's good. I think.
But if the Phillies have this song and it's working for them,
yeah,
have at it, I guess. but to me, it's a weird, sad jealousy song, and it's
And for
like,
well, I don't
what's with a
understand why.
weird jet? You're celebrating with a weird, sad jealousy song? Like what?
That is crazy. But you just got to think of this too. It's just
It's a
like even
song
today,
about somebody being jealous. I'm like, what the?
it's crazy. You know what I
What?
mean? It's like, and this is the thing
But
too.
dude,
And we're seeing
if
guys.
I will blast that song if they win the World Series. You can bet me on that. Person in
I
the
could definitely see.
comments, you can bet me.
I
You
could
can.
definitely see that.
I will
And the way that I
blast the
see it so
heck out
far
of that song.
of how this team, and think of this too. Not to mention you got Alvaredo's going to be very fresh going into tomorrow. Same with Dominguez, and I think whoever I don't know who the top guy is in that bullpen, but we're going to have guys not from tonight. We're going to have other guys that are going to be fresh and ready to go. With Wheeler taking on Darvish. Now we know from those who have not seen Game 1. Yes, we know how that game went. Now it's just like
I feel like the Wheeler versus Darvish game will be another throwaway game, and it goes to 6. But I hope not.
because if I'm like
Because
if I'm Harper and if I'm in the locker room with these guys, I tell us, look, we have one last game to clinch this on our home turf because we don't want this going back to California. We really don't. And
no,
we've seen,
you
and
got
we see
that, you
it
got
this
that long,
postseason.
you got not only is that home field advantage for them, they got that long layover. They got to fly that
All the way
night
to,
to
yeah,
go there.
it's
They're going to be gassed, and it's not going to be good for them.
you don't want that,
You don't
and
want that. You want to stay home. You want to clinch this game, and then
and
play
and
against the
then
Astros.
yeah, I mean it's just like and like we said, we did. I can't speak. I really can't think at this point.
Dude, I couldn't speak either. I'm like, are we really a game away from a World Series right now?
From the first time in 2000 since 2009, it's well, what up,
We didn't
Jerry?
even. We got. Here's the thing. The last time we made it to the NLCS,
Was in
I think we
2010.
got swept. I think we got swept that year.
Yeah, that was
Let me check.
no.
Let me check. Let me check.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've really liked. Yeah, Jerry, let's effing go. Absolutely, absolutely. It's just like for those who've really not seen of over the years, if you take out this year, the many different over a decade of pain and misery.
Bro,
Ah,
bro,
damn.
we're even closer than 2010
Oh,
because we
damn.
lost the 2010. We lost the 2010 series 4-2.
Wow.
We are closer than 2010, man. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And this
yeah,
is
it
where
was. It was that. I was like, I'm watching baseball. They score. I'm watching wrestling. Nope, then I'm watching baseball. I
like
was going back
this
and
man
forth
is
because I was
fucking
getting mad.
bipolar as all hell.
Dude, it made me bipolar. It made me bipolar. I'm like, I'm watching wrestling. No, I'm watching baseball
Well, that's Phillies baseball for you. That
because there was a wrestling pay per view on tonight, and I have Peacock, the paid version, and it's on Peacock. I'm like, I'm watching baseball. No, I'm watching wrestling. I'm watching baseball. And then it was like 8-6. I'm like, I'm keeping this on. Kept it on. The score 2. I'm like,
and
all right,
think
we're
of this
good.
too. And Harper, man, I'm surprised.
Harper.
I'm
Harper
surprised
is
they're
that
pitching
guy.
to him.
Harper is that guy. He is that guy.
And this is why too this is why I think a guy like Stott's is really thriving under Harper, because I feel like because we saw in spring training that Harper took Stott under his wing because we're both Vegas kids.
Harper's teaching him. Harper is teaching the young guy. He is teaching him, and he's teaching him very well, man. He's doing his job.
And for those who are seeing me eating, I'm eating a traditional Slim Jim because I'm hungry.
Ain't nothing wrong with snapping to a Slim Jim, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But that is true. We've seen teams, really good teams, 100-win teams, not play up to what the.
That's what I'm seeing with the eye test. This team wants it, and they want it bad.
It's been way too long.
The city wants it. The team wants it. everybody who's a fan of this team wants this. The players want this.
It's
The coaching wants this. The front
and the
office
fact that
wants this.
and Harper's making even more history for himself in his career. The fact that he never been past the division series. No, it's
it lit a fire under him into the series. It lit a fire under him, and he said it. He said it since he got here. I want to win. I want to take this team to a championship. I want to take this team
despite that
to
little
a championship.
blunder. He said DC instead of Philly, but we kind of knew where he was going with that.
honestly, I gave him a pass. I'm like, you just got the Philly, man. Who cares?
And that's the thing too. And he's like built for Philly because he comes from a blue collar family, and Philly is a blue collar town.
And you can tell in his post game interviews every single time that he loves it in Philly. He loves Philly. He loves the fans. He loves the team. He loves it here.
And I think the Phillies did a really good job, especially back in the 2018 all-season. I think they made that right choice.
It wasn't 2018. It was 2019.
Or 2019, whatever the case it was. But looking at it, I mean, it's really paid off the last – even though, I mean, in terms of production, yes.
It took a bit of time. So it took from 2019 to this year. So a good 3 years.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're seeing Schwarber, man. Even though, and this is the thing too.
Schwarber, playoff Schwarber's back.
Oh yeah,
he is playoff Schwarber that we saw in 2016.
That is a dangerous animal.
With the Red Sox. This man is dangerous. This man is dangerous.
That's a fucking moonshot to the top of the brick wall into dead center field. Like damn, it's. Like
the man, I'm like, this man took it straight shot right to center.
Even though, and this is where I think too, this is where the Phillies, for some reason, what they're playing well, like with Stott. Yeah, Stott has his moments, like we said. Even though his batting average is not where we want it to be in the postseason, but he's saying, look, don't ignore my batting average.
Here's the thing: nearly everybody in the playoffs has a low batting average. The only one that really doesn't have a low batting average is Harper.
He's hitting over 400. He's fucking red hot. And the fact that
this man's going crazy.
I think the all-time play. I think he has the most hits in the all-time in the history of the franchise in the postseason. Yeah. That's even fucking nuts. And what is it, like his fourth year in this 13-year contract that he?
It's his third year of his
contract. And that's a very good point too.
I think,
and this is where I think too, where the Phillies really thrive.
Yeah, it's his fourth year.
Because think of this too, because we saw it in the division series when Hoskins and Reese were struggling, we somehow took out the Braves with those two guys struggling. Now we're seeing these guys waking up at the top of the order.
Here's the thing: with Schwarber and Hoskins struggling, the team behind them picked them up. Yeah, now with them being hot, the whole team is red hot. They're picking each other up. That's why I think this team has heart and they want it, because they're able to pick each other up when they're struggling. Something that we have not seen in past years. When one person
not just the Phils, but in baseball, not just for the Phils, but in baseball in general. In today's days, we don't see that pass baton mentality anymore. We really don't.
You really don't. You see, if you see one player struggling, 9 times out of 10, the whole team is going to struggle.
But in the case of the Phillies,
and the Phillies, it's like if one player struggles, the rest of the team backs them up.
It's like extra motivation.
It's extra motivation for them. Okay, one of my teammates is struggling. Let me back them up, and they back them up.
And this
is awesome to see that.
It really is. And this also applies to the fact that when Harper went down, when we talked about this countless times, we saw this like, oh, here we go again. Well, some surprise when we played.
But the team backed him up. They backed him up, and it was awesome to see that.
I think we had a 30 and like a 30+ win, 20-something loss record without him since then.
Yeah,
when he went down, that's like we would never have thought that wouldn't have been possible. And there's a lot of things that this team.
I was thinking. Here goes another season down. I was like, when he went down, here goes another season down the tube, because we were struggling. We were on a skid that time. And remember, we had lost the series. Like we were losing a series to the Padres at one point. To the Padres, the team that we're beating soundly. Yeah, it was the Padres because he went down.
Yeah, it was at home. That's right. We almost got swept. We got swept at home
because Snell was the one that hit him. Remember?
Oh yeah, and Harper
Snell
wanted.
was the one that hit him, and then and this man, I have to give Harper credit because he almost got hit a few times in the playoffs, and this man's
Mm-hmm.
like
He
he's like, please don't test me, please don't
like,
test me, don't
and
charge the mound, Harper, don't charge the mound. You can see it on his face that he wanted to fight the pitcher so bad every time a ball was near his head.
oh
I was like,
yeah.
don't do it, Harper. Don't do it, Harper.
I mean,
Keep
look,
your
having
composure, my guy.
to deal with a broken thumb, or remember back in the regular season against the Cardinals, took a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to the face, and that didn't phase him.
Yeah.
Like
It's
this,
because of the fact. It's because of the fact he's wanting to change. Because remember when he was with the Nationals, every time he would get hit, he would charge the mound.
I mean, God, look at this against the Giants against Strickland. God damn, he wanted to kill that man.
Damn, he
If,
was bum rushing the mound. Like, dang.
and this is why I
I was like,
think
my
too. And
God,
this is
Harper.
where, and if you look at the different Phillies team in the Phillies in the last couple of years, we see there's a tremendous improvements. We seen the bullpen got better, which is shocking.
Yeah.
We have guys who, if they do struggle, we have guys to step up. You know, like Tyler said, we have Dombrowski who took a chance on these guys, like
And they've
Syndergaard, Brandon
contributed.
Marsh.
Yeah. Brandon Marsh, who was a 211 hitter with the Angels. The man went up and batted 300 for the rest of the season with us.
And has
And
come
he's
up in
played,
big moment and has his
and
moments
he's
in the
had
postseason.
he had crucial moments in playoffs that got us to this point. He had a crucial moment tonight, or almost crucial moment, and then the ball somehow died. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too mad at him
But
about
it's
that.
just
I'm like, it sucks. But hey.
like this team, and like Tyler said, this team wants him more than anything. Like it's
Yeah.
been way too goddamn. It's been at this point too long because I'm not going to say it.
Put it this way. Put it this way, Rob. Put it this way. Do you know how old I was when the Phillies won a championship?
It's been a long fucking time.
I was 10.
It's crazy.
I was 10, bro.
It's crazy what this team, but it's just like, and yes, and at times we question Rob Thompson's decision, but for some reason it works for us. These weird mix and matchups, for some reason, what he does, and the fact we win games with that,
yeah, he does. But here's the thing. We were questioning why did they start
Falter over Syndergaard.
Falter over Syndergaard, and then we saw in the later innings. I see why, because they're trying to use him for the pen.
Yeah, and try to keep him at least as somewhat fresh as possible. Which does. Yeah. Then again, looking at it, say, yeah, that does make sense. Even though face value, we were pissed.
Yeah, but once that happened and we dove in further, we're like, okay, I get it. Okay.
And Eflin too, and he's come up. Yes, I mean, despite the one game though, he has come up huge out of the bullpen for us. I mean, we have guys you would never expect to come up.
Do you know how many? David Robinson. Do you know how many blown saves Eflin has in the postseason?
I think just one, if I'm not mistaken.
One. That's it. Only the one.
And it's
the rest of the time he's pitched lights out.
I mean, not to mention too, we're gonna have. Because think about this too, we're gonna have Alvarado fresh out of the bullpen, same with Seranthony Dominguez. So that's gonna be we got two top dogs, which I think with Rod Thompson's thinking, for me, that's a smart thing to do. You don't want to waste your top guys going into this game because game 4 or game 5, I should say, because today was game 4. You don't want to use your best guys in the clinching scenario. Because remember, Eflin clinched against the Braves to secure. No, that was Dominguez.
Eflin clinched us to get into the playoffs. Dominguez clinched to get us here.
So we have guys has done probably the biggest jobs of their careers. And Dominguez, despite him being hurt, had Tommy John last year or a couple years ago, and just being disgusting that he is. I think at this point we have our closer for the foreseeable future. He's got to stay healthy though. And I used to talk about this too. Like, I think another guy, even though I was 50-50 on whether keep him or let him go, and that was Thor. Thor at times,
as a starter, he can't go past 4 innings because he will start giving up runs because he's too gassed. His
Well,
arm
and he
gets
said the same
tired
pitcher was 4 or
easier.
5 years ago.
Yeah, because with the Tommy John, your arm gets tired easier when you're pitching. I think that's how it is.
Well, and
Your
not to
arm
mention,
gets.
and also it's a long road to rehab, and we saw that, and
Yeah,
and
and you don't want
remember,
to any yeah, and now you don't want to overwork the guy because he doesn't give you 9 quality innings like he did with the Mets
not like he
or
used
with
to, anyways.
yeah, like when he played for the Mets, he would give you 9 quality innings, and
Or
that was the
sometimes,
reason
and
why
not to
that was
mention
the
the
reason
Met.
why they went. Hold on, that was the reason why they went to the World Series in 2015 because of him and
And
the
the
rest of that team.
Yeah, I mean, the 2015 Mets had a really good team built around a guy like
They
a
did.
young Matt Harvey. Still had a young Syndergaard. You still got a young DeGrom, but when he's actually healthy,
Yep.
unfortunately, it's just
They
looking
fell
at what
short and they had to blow it up because guys were getting hurt and
and guys were getting up older. I mean, another guy. I feel like what could have been. Well, that was David. Like I said, it was David Wright for me. What could have been. Even more for the
the
tremendous amount of
biggest
injuries that
the
that man
biggest
has
what
suffered.
yeah, the biggest what if for me would have to be Matt Harvey because he looked like one of the most dominant pitchers in 2015. And
Oh,
then
and Matt Harvey too just
after
fell
that
off.
injury, he was bouncing around teams and he just did not look the same ever again. And it's sad because I was expecting him to be dominant for
And
years to come.
be the future of that rotation. But unfortunately, and when no player, some players nowadays are just 1 year wonders. And
Yeah,
we're and it's a shame though. I mean, but and that's it. Kind of got to my thing too with Dabrowski though. When we cut a guy like Odubel and Familia, for some reason we got better once those two guys left,
because for one, we cut the cancer in Odubel
and
because
for
no
for
one
good
liked him.
reason.
No one respected him. The fans didn't respect him, and for good reason. He
And dude
beat up his
sucked.
girlfriend. He sucked and he beat up his girlfriend. No one liked him because of those two things.
And I think was it like 2 or 3 years now we've been begging for him to get cut at that
Yeah,
point.
because this guy's a low 200 hitter, and he's not going to be on a good roster. And he's not going to be a good
Yeah.
player.
And
I
I think another
mean,
guy and
and
people
I feel like once we got him, he got kicked out of the league because I don't think any team is going to sign him
and then
because of his past, not because of his play, because of the whole girlfriend thing
yeah, I don't
and the
think no one's
whole
going to even.
domestic abuse, and yeah, he's not going
And
to get signed. It's a
and
whole
another
mess
guy,
signing.
and Tyler knows me better than anybody that I ranted and raving on in Boston. God bless you for picking this man up, and you know who I'm talking about, Mister Streaky.
Familiar,
Yep, Mister Streaky
familiar.
himself.
He wasn't. Here's the thing: he used to be streaky with the Mets. When he came
But
here, he was just flat out bad. And then for Boston, he's flat out bad. Like he's bad
man,
now.
it
He's not
sucks
even
to be
streaky.
Boston,
He's just
doesn't it? For picking,
bad.
it sucks to be
I'm like,
Boston, though. I mean, and this is where too. I
that's
will
not,
give the.
that's how I knew. That's how I knew Boston was trying to tank the season away when they got familiar.
Mm-hmm.
They knew their season was a wash by midseason. They traded for this guy.
And not to mention, you have guys who want to get out of Boston, like a JD Martinez or an Xander Bogaerts, and rightfully so. Because who wants to be on a team that sucks? Because let's be
It's
real, we know.
in process of a rebuild. They're in the process of a rebuild,
God, who
which
would have
is
thought?
which is which honestly I didn't expect to even happen because they were in the ALCS just last year.
Yeah, and then won a World Series in 2018. Just for some reason, just shit the bed ever since then.
Yeah.
But another thing too is just like we have, and going back, like I said, with Dombrowski knows where he might see potential, and we saw. I mean, like we said, Brandon Marsh is a perfect example of a guy, struggled to find his way in this first year in the major leagues. As year two came in, no, really struggled with the Angels. But when Dombrowski when I saw flashes, like this was, man, let's pick him up and give him a shot. And for some reason,
I that's what I said. I looked at the tape. I looked at his highlights on YouTube. Um, after we signed him, like I'm I thought he was gonna be a bad hitter. There was a bad hitting sign. Like we wanted a hitter and we didn't get a hitter. I looked at it at face value. And I shouldn't have. I looked at the tape. I'm like, we got something here.
mm-hmm.
We got
And
something. I
it was
don't know
really,
what it is. I can't put my finger up on this, but I think we got something here. And for the last half of the season, he's been balling, and I'm like, that's something.
And I think
he just needed a proper hitting coach to fix him. He is fixed, and his defense is just
when it
really
comes to
good.
defensive plays. I mean, good Lord, this man came up. He has his moments defensively. I mean, we don't know he was a good defender, but his bat was, I would say, below average
when he came here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people's got to realize too, and now we're seeing, well, Ohtani is going to actually definitely, and rightfully so, because
honestly, Ohtani needs to leave. I hope Trout.
I don't think Trout's going to go anywhere anytime soon with that contract that he signed.
He needs to ask for a trade. Come to his senses. Leave and go to a contender. I know he loves LA. I know it's sunny California. But go to a team like the Dodgers if you want to stay to LA, or go to a team like
at least go to the best big brother, as we would say, because
go to the bigger brother, or go to the Padres if you want to stay in California.
Or
avoid Oakland. Avoid Oakland.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Avoid Oakland for sure. Or the thing is too, or come back home. If you really think about it.
But here's the thing: do we really need them? We don't need really. Them. We got Marsh, we got Schwarber, and we got Harper. All of the positions that he would normally play are covered.
Well, Trout's more of a center fielder.
He's more of a center fielder, but we got Marsh.
That is true. But then again, Marsh also has some speed too. So I mean, he's also younger too, which does make sense. But still, I mean, for me,
how would you be so stupid to sign a massive contract for a team that's bad?
That it's,
without ownership, and
yes,
hopefully they do sell.
Yes, sir, Jay.
We're talking about the fightings, my guy. The fightings.
And well, technically, in this case, I mean, they were down 4-0. I mean,
can I tell you something? I think the fighting Phils are back. They are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They are putting up a fight. It is a dog fight in the playoffs with this team. This team cannot be put down.
You're right. I mean, it's just like this team. Yes, I know there's some issues that I see. Obviously, too.
Yeah, the whole blunder thing. Like,
I mean,
blunder that Segura had yesterday, and the whole Hoskins can't play first base thing. Which Hoskins still needs to go. I don't care if he hit 2 bombs a day. He still needs to go because he can't play first base. Or he could put him on the outfield, but he can't do that because
that sucks. Remember that? Oh, that was bad. Because he was also bad in the outfield. That was not great. But this is the way that I see it too. It's just like, and we also got Bohm, and we seen potential with this kid can do at first base too. I mean, defensively, I mean, who's to say? I mean, I think,
and also if we call up the one guy, what's his name again?
We have Derek Cole. He's already up on the main roster, but we kept him off the playoff roster, which was kind of dumb.
If we put him in permanently next year, and we get rid of Hoskins, we could make an even bigger push if we lose the World Series.
That's how I think this too. That's an extra lefty bat in that lineup too. Which, because remember, this lineup is mostly right-handed heavy.
Extra lefty right there, yeah.
Because you got Schwarber, you have Harper, you got Brandon Marsh, Stott.
You can you can have the ability to mix it up, left, right. You can mix it up, confuse the pitchers.
Well, and also depends on the matchups too, which also takes into account.
It does. It depends.
Unless you're Harper, if you kill both righties and lefties, yeah, good luck pitching to him. Because
Harper, you can't pitch this guy. Period.
Like literally, I'm surprised they're not intentionally walking him. This dude is red hot in the postseason.
I was like, as soon as it's like 0-1 or 1, as soon as it's 0-1, I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? You sure want to test this guy?
I mean,
next thing was second pitch bomb. I'm like, I told you shouldn't have tested him.
Like, this is what happened. Like, you don't piss off Harper in the postseason because that's a whole different breed of animal. And I'll say this too, though.
Dude,
I mean,
when he hit that double, he was like, "This is my freaking house." I'm like, what?
Like, this dude's energy, though, it's beyond. Like, Dude. I'll say this too. It's been a while since we had a guy, had this much energy and try to be the leader in the locker room. When was the last time we ever had?
Do you know last time we had that much energy from a guy and he was a locker room leader?
That was for you. That was J roll for me in my eyes,
For
anyways.
me, for me, for me, it was Chase Utley. Chase
Oh,
Utley had so much
could,
energy,
hey Philly,
and he
let
was,
Chase Ollie throw out the first pitch for the love of God. Make it
my God,
make it bittersweet to end
dude.
it.
You already have Hart. You already have
You had Victorino
Howard
throw
going
out.
to the gate. You have Victorino. You had Howard.
Then you got
Where's
Stairs.
where's where's and you have Stairs for some reason. He was just
But
um.
man, but yeah, people got to realize
You
too
don't
how
have.
important.
But you also had Pat there. You had Pat there.
That's
Pat
right. What
Burrell.
about Pat Burrow or Jimmy Rollins for the love of God? And
Get
yet,
Pat Burrell in that. Get Pat Burrell
Pat Burrow
involved.
would be great too.
Get get guys like Pat Burrell. Get guys like Jimmy Rollins throwing out the first pitch. Get Utley throw out the first pitch. Heck, get a guy like, oh, I don't know, Chooch to throw the first pitch.
Honestly, though,
Also get a guy by the name of Jamie Moyer to throw out the first
oh
pitch.
God, the one guy that made that.
The
Oh God,
40-year-old phenom for
and
this
the fact.
team.
See, this is look. Jamie Warrior for me was one of my underrated pitchers of on the Phillies because yes, he may not throw like in the mid, like say between 92 to 94, but this dude can make you look like an idiot, like a throwing a 60 mile
He
an hour
was
changeup
he
and a
was
70 mile an hour
he was
fastball, and you still look like an idiot.
he was able to adapt to
That's
his
crazy,
age.
especially in the
He
2000s.
sacrificed pitch speed for location, which I
Well, then,
liked.
yeah, I mean, who would have thought? I mean, shit. I mean, we also had some very other underrated players on the roster too. I mean, you had Jeff. I mean, Jeff Jenkins was okay. I mean, you still had Ryan. You had Ryan Madsen, Lidge. Joe
Dude,
Blandon was actually pretty.
Get Brad Lidge back to throw first
Oh
pitch.
God,
Get
that
him back.
Philly would be
Get him back.
great.
Get him back.
It's just like, and that's another thing too, Tyler. We forgot to talk about too, because like we're gonna
Yes, get a third guy in the rotation. Yeah, get a third guy in the rotation.
because let's think it this way.
Honestly,
Because
we need a fourth and fifth.
fourth and fifth, we need a back end.
Suarez ain't bad.
I mean, Suarez. I mean, dude has come up big for us in the postseason.
He's come up big for us in the playoffs. Yeah, did
Even
he have a
though,
rocky season this year? Yes, but he's had a good postseason.
even it means hard to talk about this too.
We need to get our fourth and fifth guy because
we ain't that far off though. Like to get even better.
dude,
You really think about it.
All
Two
we
starting
need is a
pitchers.
fourth
And yeah,
and fifth starting pitcher, and we're going to be dominant.
And Jerry said Trey Hoskins for like, at least get something out of Hoskins at this point.
Trade in for pitching, and move up Derek Hall. Easy.
Yeah, that is true. Or because you can flip flop Bowman to Hall at first base, and also if you can keep Sosa around, that's an extra really good
No,
bench piece.
no. We're not moving Bowman. We're not doing that. He's gotten better at third. So we're keeping him at third. We're moving up Derek Hall, and we're trading Hoskins for pitching.
I think and me and Todd did talk about this too earlier before we started.
Suarez can be your fourth. Maybe consider bringing Nola as your fifth or no. Noah can only
in the bullpen. Same with Falter. What?
Yeah, Falter. I don't even think he's going to bullpen either. So just cut your losses with Falter. But Noah's not a starter anymore.
He's almighty, we are 3 games to 1 over the Padres going to game
win
5.
or lose. Yeah, we won today. 10-6.
10-6.
I was trying to remember the score. I was trying to remember the score. I'm like, what was the score?
We did Arco. We pretty much put down on. We made the Padres
and we can put
a 4-run lead.
Yep, and we can put this series to bed tomorrow
with Wheeler and Darvish going at it. So I mean, because and this is one of the biggest keys. And I think if I'm Rob Thompson, like, oh, that's right, yeah. Well, Yankees are gonna. I know they're gonna get swept.
Honestly, they're getting swept. It's over for them
because
I see no life with them. I have
no absolutely not. And the way that
I would say the Padres have more of a chance to come back in the series because they showed some life, and I respect that they gave us a challenge. But the Yankees are done. It's over.
And the way that I see it is, and we saw it statistically as a team that they showed earlier tonight during the Phillies game. They were hitting 128 as a team. They struck out 41 times, only drove in 4 fucking runs. Yeah,
They last.
it's
They
like
last. Do you know how many hits they had today in their loss? They
probably
had
not a lot.
one hit tonight. One. They're done. It's over.
And I
If
have a
they
feeling
can't
Aaron
hit the
Boone's going to
ball,
get fired.
if they can't hit the ball, they're done. And Aaron Boone's job is on the line.
And you could be
Well,
potentially losing Judge at the same time in this offseason.
Yeah, if they lose out, Aaron Boone's fired. He's done. How can you be one of the best teams in the league
And
lose like that? Lose like that. You don't even put up a fight against the Astros. You're losing a sweep. But you know what?
If I'm Judge,
at least you know what? At least it's gonna be great content for us because Coach Shante is gonna be laughing his butt off.
oh, trust me.
If it happens.
And for those who don't know Coach Shante, he's been waiting for this for what 2-3 years now at this point, give or take. But yeah, I mean,
he was waiting on this for 2 years. He's like,
and
for the entire playoffs. For the entire playoffs.
It's like, give me the Yankees.
Give me the Yankees. Give me the
Yankees.
Give me the Yankees. And you know what? They gave him the Yankees, and they're sweeping them.
And they're beating their ass. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, Garrett Cole has been terrible. I mean, that entire team's just been bad. I mean, Garrett Cole's
been bad. Aaron Judge has been bad. The whole team.
I mean, it's bad enough too. You're listening to like, yeah, Judge is going to be a free agent after the end of this season. Mm-hmm. That's going to be because for those because me, Tyler, and Dante are going to be covering the MLB free agency period after the World Series is done, which is when the official all season begins. I just feel like, I mean, yes, Rizzo has been okay, but Rizzo for me has been on the. We know that he's on the older end of being one of those.
Yeah, he's on the older end now.
I mean, at this point,
because he came in what 09, 2010 ish.
I think somewhere in that area before he got traded. I think he came in with the Padres, and I think he got traded.
He came up with the Padres. He struggled, got traded to the Cubs, balled out for them, won World Series, went to the Yankees, balled out for them
too, and just we're seeing Father Time finally catching up to him. Because I mean,
Father Time's getting home.
I mean, we've seen it too. I mean, Father Time has really done of But yeah, I mean, so far though, I mean, the postseason has been very fun this year,
dude.
But I know Dodgers fans. I know
the AL not so much fun. The NL has been very fun.
Yeah, because
teams that you didn't expect to win to get this far have gone this far. The teams that you expected in the AL, yes, they made it. Cool. But it's more boring that you have what you expected there. But when you have something that's unexpected like this, way more fun.
Oh, absolutely. And you got to think too, like, you know, like I said, like we talked about, the Braves and the Mets, 101 win teams. We had the Dodgers, 111, completely shit the bed in the playoffs. But then again, more the Mets because the Dodgers, for me, the Dodgers was a shocker. For me, I feel
like the Mets weren't really a shock because they were plummeting.
We knew what they were getting into.
We knew they were gonna.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They had a good team, though. Don't get me wrong.
They did.
But
they had a really good team. They just were missing a piece.
Wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And the Braves got them within 3 games or 2 games. They won 2 games.
Well, that's got to think too. This whole ties back to the rate. I would say the Mets did overachieve, but they kind of like I said, the Mets track. We knew what the Mets track record when it comes to reaching the playoffs. They fall flat in their face. Like they completely shut off like that. You know what I mean? It's
the thing is, they fall completely flat when they lost the division by 1 game. When they led for the entire year.
Yeah, 10 over almost
the entire year.
I'm looking, and when I looked at each and every week, it's like you cannot be like. I looked at it, it's like, are you serious? Are the Mets really going to fucking blow this? Like
it was like a 10-game lead. It was a 10-game
almost
lead.
11-game lead. 10.5 to be exact. And you blew it.
It went from 10.5 to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6, and it was gradual.
Not just the Mets.
Down.
This also applies to the Yankees too. Remember, they almost collapsed over. They
The
also had a
Yankees
double,
had like a 20-something game lead, and they
and it trimmed
ended
down
up
to
doing
single
that.
digits.
I'm like, how do you do that?
Like, how do you fucking fall that far when you almost ran away with the division in the AL East, which you had? I mean, Tampa Bay is pretty good. I mean, with the Moneyball thing, Toronto. I mean, they have some issues to work out. I mean, their pitching has not been the best. Their bullpen is absolutely atrocious at times from what we saw, especially Game 3 against the Mariners when they choked an 8-1 lead. Like, how? And I thought, and yes, we were bad. Well, we knew about choking leads, but to the fact you do that in the postseason, well, I mean, we did that in Game 2, but well, actually, no, I'm sorry, Game 3, or was it? What was it?
It was when we won Game 1, lost
Oh,
Game 2.
Game 2.
We were leading in Game 2, and we choked.
But then again, this was kind of Rob Johnson's plan all along: is to shit the bed in Game 2, come back to Philly, and try to take 3.
This is what I was telling you. He was saying, "Whoops, we're not supposed to win," and they tanked the rest away. We lost that game. I'm like, what if
I think
they were tanking? I was like, what if they tanked Game 2 so they can win the next 3 at home? I'm like, it's a genius.
I mean, damn it.
I'm like, it's extremely petty, but it's genius.
I mean, it's like. Then again, look, if you really, for those non-baseball fans, I mean, that may not seem great, but from a statistic standpoint, yes. Like, Game 1, because look, Game 1, even when Game 1 of the series, most of the time you're going to win the series anyways. It's like what they over 70% of the times when you win Game 1 of the series, it's
over 70%. Of teams who win Game 1 win the series. And then we were going with the analytics standpoint. I know analytics is killing baseball. I get it.
Yeah, Almighty, tell me about it. This is what we've been talking about. If the
Phillies win the World Series, we're going to.
We're going to shit a brick.
Nuts. I'm going
because
to go nuts.
It's been far too long to see a championship brought to Philadelphia since 2017.
Like I said, I was 10. But you know what? It would be so ironic too. You want to know why? When last time they won the World Series, I was in a completely different state. If they win again, I'm in a completely different state. I'm like,
because if you watched our talk, because when you got to see our late night shows, me and Tyler, we used to live in the South during the when the Phillies were in the World Series back in 2008. So
me and you were both in South Carolina. How the heck we didn't meet sooner? I don't know.
It's beyond me.
Yeah, we were.
Well, like I said, we appreciate that, Almighty. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But it was so cool, though. You were telling me, oh, I lived there, too, around the same time. I'm like, what? I'm like, we could have met sooner? You were like, yeah.
Dude, you become best friends? Yep.
Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to go to a crowd in the garage? Yup.
Yep. Even before, but yeah, it's just like this team. Yes, we differ overachieved, but we had expectations for. I mean, technically not really, but when it comes to the postseason, we had like certain expectations for this team. And the fact that, how about shout out to Dave Ortiz pulled off an AI jersey today? Yesterday, a Reggie fucking White jersey. What
this
the fuck?
Man has become my best friend in the last 2 days. I don't care what anybody says. Big Poppy's the best because of that.
That's crazy too. Like if
he was already the best for what he did on the field, but after him busting out the Reggie White Reggie White jersey and the Allen Iverson
absolutely
jersey.
Almighty, we do, because not to mention we're hot at the
exactly.
We're hot at the right time.
Yes, we are.
And I actually talked to my grandfather about this too. And he said too, like, if you struggle in September and get hot right at the right time, like say in October going forward, you're going to have all that on your side. I was like, now that I think about it, that does make sense. It really does make sense.
Really, yeah. And I have to agree with this because what happened in Game 1 of the wild card, we won pretty decisively. It was like a 7-run lead.
Yeah.
Game 1.
And technically,
and we just rode that for the entire
ever
playoffs.
Since that, and we just been I think let's see, with 2, we took 4 against, so that's 6-1. Because we did lose Game 2 against the Braves. Let's see, we took 3. We took 3, so we're 9-2 so far in the postseason.
Yes, we're 9-2 in the postseason. Yep.
That's what everybody thought.
I thought y'all would lose. We thought that.
Say, and I entirely say that
we were just crawling to the playoffs. We weren't even winning games.
No, absolutely not. We had to rely on the fucking Diamondbacks and the goddamn Marlins to knock out the Brewers.
But the thing is, we didn't have to do that if we would just win games, but we didn't, and that's why people were expecting the Phillies to lose to the Cardinals pretty decidedly. And
not to mention this too, like and Tarkus, and I put this on record too. I had the Braves winning at 5 in the division series, and boy was I wrong.
I said that the division series would be our roadblock. We weren't going to be
Atlanta,
a superior team in Atlanta, but we did.
Also, the defending champs at the time.
The defending champs. They were clearly the superior team. The only move that they had made that that have been in, the record in my mind was the whole Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I recall them doing. Other than that, they pretty much had the same team from that roster of last year.
But
But we took them out. In 4. I'm like,
because now we know that Dansby Swanson is going to be a free agent at the end right now, and there's been numerous. I mean, they've been talking about if he's going to take a hometown discount or is he going to go elsewhere. Because for me, I don't know. I think if I'm Dansby Swanson at this point, yes, and this is where it's a lot of times too. Yes, I know he grew up watching and we did say he was a Braves fan growing up, and we've seen Braves players over the years, root on the team that they see. Brandon Marsh. That's also for me. That's bittersweet. He knocked his hometown team out of the fucking playoffs too. I forgot about that.
I was laughing. I'm like, he turned on you guys, and it's
that's a heel move right there. That's
a heel turn. He turned heel on his own team. It was awesome. We were the villains because we got the heel.
But and all in all, I think we finished 87-63 or something like that. It was 162 games. Damn. I really cannot complain.
No, it was 87 and 70 something. Because I know
whatever it was.
You have to win like 90. It's 162. So if you lose 63 games, you'd have to have won 99.
Yeah, we saw the
so it's 87 and like 70 something. I forgot
whatever it was. That's probably I think if you really think about it, the last 3 or 4 years, technically I'd say minus 2020. This is one of our better seasons by far.
2020 wasn't one of our best seasons though.
Well, for me, I ain't counting that shit.
We completely sucked that year.
Oh yeah, forget thing too. Like most teams sucked. It's a 60-game season. For the love of God,
it was a 60-game season.
I ain't counting that shit.
I don't count it either. I don't even count the Dodgers winning it.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. But if you looked at the many records that the Phillies had over the years, yes, we have over 100 games, more than a handful of occasions in the history of this franchise.
They were all in the 20s.
I said 85, 87. God, almost a 90-win season under fucking Rob Thompson. Who would have fucking thought it?
Here's the thing: we were 3 wins away. 3 wins away from a 90-win season.
Yeah, but you also think when we clinched the playoff spot in Game 1, the other 2 games against Houston didn't really matter. So I
was sarcastically.
Oh yeah, you're for that sarcastic jokes.
I was like, oh no, we're playing like the Bad News Bears. It doesn't matter.
We already clinched the playoff spot, and then never seen teams go on the playoff couch, as Gould puts it. Because
playoffs.
And I'll say this too. Like I said, there's some teams that, I wish.
47 and 34 at home, 40 and 41 away. Yeah, our home and road splits. Yeah, our home and road splits were like night and day.
Yes, home. I understand how it would because come on. It's real. We play at our home rock, especially in the postseason. We've seen teams struggle in the post.
The energy that the fans give.
It's a whole different.
It's a whole different ball game when you're playing in Philly. Whole different ball game. You saw it tonight. You saw it in the Atlanta series. You saw it last night.
It's different. And,
Yeah.
and look, I'm gonna give the Padres fans base a lot of credit too. I mean, they were actually pretty loud too.
Oh,
We've
oh
had
my
that.
gosh. Yeah.
I mean, look, like these big market teams, they really know how to. And look, and all we can say is too, as general baseball fans, the one team we're definitely going to laugh at for years to come is the fucking Angels. Now look at that, because we broke our drought, so did Seattle. Now Seattle, yes, they
Seattle
got
broke a
swept.
20-year. You had Seattle break a 20+ year drought. The last time they made to the playoffs was 2001.
I was, let's see, you were 3, I was
was
4.
3. I was 3 at the
We were
time.
young
What?
toddlers when we saw the.
I was toddler. I was a toddler going to be 4.
And don't remind me, I'm 25. I feel old as shit just thinking about it. But the way that I see it, so the playoffs though. Well, Schwarber's not going to be a free agent for the next 3 years because it's a 4-year deal.
It was a 4-year deal for
look,
him.
212 batting average, throw that shit out the window. I thought that was all in all, despite that, it was a really good season though for Schwarber though in his first year in Philly. Like, don't get me.
Let's not talk about his batting average.
Like,
I used to think the batting averages don't matter anymore in the game.
He helped us win games though. Don't get me.
He helped us win games
That's all that matters.
which is why we signed him.
And damn, and especially in the postseason, good Lord, do not pitch to him.
Here's the thing.
I mean,
he sandlotted that ball in San Diego. And if you don't get what I mean,
or check that the funniest, hilarious TikTok too. That was fucking funny as hell.
Hold on now. But here's what I mean by he sandlotted the ball. Mm-hmm. The man hit the ball so hard,
like everything.
Baseball cracked open. All you saw was the insides.
Yeah, it's just
he hit that ball that hard, probably.
And first of all, I mean, Petco Park has been around since for how long at this point? Since the early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah.
And they said they never seen a home run ball almost 500 feet.
Never seen that.
No,
that was a 488 foot.
That's a blast to the second deck.
Yeah,
or even like tonight, like we said, I mean, takes a pitch down the middle and drives it almost over the brick wall in dead center field.
Literally, almost all the way down over the brick wall into Ashburn Alley.
Almost to Ashburn Alley.
Oh yeah,
Harper did it last year.
Yeah, something that Harper did. He took that ball over to
Ashburn Alley. That's nuts.
He took it over the brick wall into Ashburn. So,
and like I said, I mean, this team though, as much as they overachieved, they're really surprising a lot of people. And it's funny that I've seen a lot of baseball content creators wrote us out because I've seen like Robbie Hyde though, great baseball content creator, picked the Padres over us in the championship series. Took the Braves, that really backfired, and took the Cardinals in the wild card, and that also backfired. Also, Ballcap Sports, obviously huge Blue Jays fan. He has us taking the series against the Padres, so he's really made up.
He's cool. But the majority of the fans wrote us off.
Yeah, Almighty. Exactly. That's what me and Tyler were thinking.
Happy.
Who would have thought?
I'm happy. Who would have thought? Exactly. Who would have thought this? Because going into the playoffs,
fucking win away from the Fall Classic.
Going into the playoffs, I didn't expect this to happen.
This is ridiculous. I'm thinking to myself, like, is this a fucking dream right now? Like, I gotta pinch myself. I gotta make sure I'm not dreaming.
Every single game that we win, I have to pinch myself. Am I dreaming right now? Is this real? Is this happening?
Not just the Phillies. We've seen the Flyers are actually playing solid hockey, which is shocking. We know how good the Eagles are.
We don't talk about the Sixers. Don't talk about the Sixers.
Yeah, that's a whole different situation.
But here's the thing. This is how Philly sports goes. If 3 teams play good, here's the catch. 1 team has to be bad. And it sucks.
It is what it is.
But whatever. The Phillies are good again. Haven't been good since I was 13, so I'm happy about that.
It's crazy to really think about of how this team has come along since 2011. Hell, even fucking 2012 when we started really went down. It's basically
It was a slow, long crawl out of this hole that we built ourselves. It
it's
was just it was like a long tunnel, and we didn't see the light at the end of it for
until
years. This year
through
we saw
like
the light of
many different. I think what
it.
8 different managers and 3 different general managers.
Seven
Think
different
about that.
managers, 7 different managers, 3 different general managers,
And and Dombrowski,
and
like, I mean, damn.
like, my
I
God,
mean,
dude.
went from
I
like
knew I knew as soon as we got Dombrowski that something special was gonna happen. I kind
even
of had a
though
feeling that it was gonna
even though
happen.
last year, like none of us we were not expected to make the playoffs, but if you really looked at because in Dombrowski's first year was an evaluation of where we stood
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
team.
yeah. It was more like an evaluation period. What do we need? Okay, we need a bullpen. Let
Or
me
we
get
need a
on the
center
bullpen.
fielder.
Oh, we need a center fielder. But he didn't evaluate that until midseason of this year. Oh, we need
Yeah,
a center fielder.
before the trade deadline.
This Marsh guy shows a lot of potential. Let me get him. Got him. He's been balling.
He's been a spark plug. Or Mundo
He's been a
Sosa.
spark.
Remember, he took a chance on him, and he's been one of our solid bench pieces.
Sosa's had a chance taken on him. Oh, Sosa looks promising. Let me get Sosa.
We
Oh,
trade and let's be real, traded a guy that was constantly hurt for a guy that we took a chance on and has really panned out surprisingly. And which is funny.
Also, Dombrowski. Stott looks like he could be a star in the league. Let me bring him up. He's been balling.
Even though despite a rough start to his
Yeah,
young
he had that
career,
rough 0 for 10. He had that rough 0 for 10 in the
yeah,
beginning of
it
the season.
was.
But that was a part of the coaching. The coaching was not good.
On money last year, we missed the playoffs. I think we did.
We went 82-80 and just missed the playoffs by 3 games because we got swept by the dang Braves.
Yeah, and that's where we that was the last important series. And we
The
collapsed.
last important series, and we were like, okay, 3 games,
like,
and we're making the playoffs. We lose all 3. Like, God dang it.
And this was before they actually implemented the new wild card format.
Yeah. And let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not gonna be. Let's make no bones about it, bro. If it was the same playoff series as
We would
last year,
not be
we'd
in
be
this
out.
position anyways.
We would be out. But thank God for the new playoff series.
And let's be real. I mean, I said this too, like, almost a couple years ago. That exactly that's what we're saying. Like, yes, I know we had above 500 season last year. Yeah, it's night and day compared to what we were. You know, yeah. I mean, yes.
We went from 82 and 80, 87 and 75, bro.
Almost pulled a 90 win season out of our ass.
Who almost pulled that 90 mark out? Almost pulled it out.
It's all because of that. Like I said, with that
I feel like if we didn't tank the last 2 games, we'd be 89 and
75 or
no
73.
73. Yeah, 89 and 73. We will be 1 game away from winning 90 games.
But I
and
appreciate
making the
that.
Playoffs.
I think we're still a couple
Next
years
season
100 plus.
I don't see next season being
but
100 plus win.
If we pull out 92 between 92 to 93 get wins, I'm okay with that. They said
I can see 92, 93 next year.
Or if Thompson can still press the right buttons going to next year, who's to say? If we pull a 100-win season out of our ass, I'll be shocked. So anything is possible nowadays.
Honestly, anything is possible because
especially with how this team's.
Look at how this team is playing. They're playing like a 100-win team.
And they're not even a 90-win team.
They're 80. They're barely even 90. Like what?
Yeah, and we're one of the underdogs. Like Tyler said, we had 2 underdogs, us and San Diego. But San Diego, despite all that good talent, this has been the first time they've been this far in the postseason in forever. What it seems like.
1998 was the last time they made it to the NLCS.
And for those who don't remember that was a prime Trevor Hoffman. Remember Bruce Bochy. Also, congratulations to the Texas Rangers, though.
Getting Bruce Bochy. But here's the thing. I see some parallels with Bruce Bochy, that signing, and our Joe Girardi signing. I really don't think they're going to do much with him. He hasn't coached in a few years.
I mean, he stepped away in 2019. That's the issue.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Girardi stepped away a few years before he
And
got
unfortunately,
signed by Philly, and that was a bad signing. So
well,
I
and
hope
that's the
it.
thing
I
too.
hope it.
When we signed
Here's
Girardi
hold
too,
on, hold on. Here's the thing, though. I hope it works out for him, but I don't see it. The way the Girardi thing happened with us, I don't see it.
well, here's something too. Like the Texas Rangers are still a rebuilding team in the AL West. Because
They are.
remember, it's like it's going to take. Well, we knew what Bochy's capable of. I mean, Chris Young, who's their general manager over there, he has played under Bruce Bochy and actually turned out pretty well. Had a really good career under him. So I mean, because remember, Texas really didn't have a really good manager since the days of Ron Washington. Let's be real, that dude. That's an ultimate disrespect. How does this man not have a fucking managing job at this point in this man's career? Probably, I don't know, but
Is he
but
not? Is he retired or is he not
no, he
retired? Like
he's with Atlanta, but as one of their I think one of their infielding coach. I think he's their infield and their third base coach / infielders
maybe
coach. And
maybe he wanted to step away from managing and just doing infield
what could
stuff.
have been too? That's another team that's been what could have been that 2011 Texas Rangers team. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
guys,
That's a big
you
what
literally
if.
had guys like what's his
Beltre,
face,
prime Elvis Andrews. You had I
Beltre,
think you still
Elvis
had what
Andrews.
you still had
You
Hamilton. You
had
still have Nathan Feliz was still really good out of that
yep,
bullpen. You still had
yep.
Mitch.
That whole team was
It was
stacked, man.
and you blew it.
They went to the World Series that year and blew it to the
But then again, Cardinals
Cardinals.
were the better team, and because Cardinals also had a stacked team as well at the same time. But that's besides the point. I mean,
Honestly, I think we could have beat them in 2011.
but
We could have.
unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
And then
History was,
that started our free
God,
fall.
that's when everybody started to suck. I mean, when they're all getting up there in age, Howard started to suck. I mean, Utley was meh, I
Utley
would
was
say.
competent. Utley was competent until he got traded.
I
Rollins
mean,
was competent until he got traded. Truth was competent until he got traded.
it's funny to see him pitch, and we still knocked his ass around, even though it sucked. But it was funny nonetheless. Nonetheless,
It
but
was kind of like it was just a funny little ha ha or better
but
ha
I
ha
mean,
ha ha ha. Like a little funny games going on with that. No hate at Chooch.
but Chooch is
But
going to be one of our all time greats. You know, I mean, it's like,
but Hamels was still good. We shouldn't have traded him. We traded
yeah,
him a week after a perfect game.
no hitter
Just
against
stupid.
Chicago Cubs, and we got fleeced by the Texas Rangers, and none of them panned the fuck out.
Dude, we got
Oh,
fleeced by
don't
them.
remember.
No,
God, I do not
but
want to break
yeah,
that trade.
literally after 2015, we were just bad.
It was just, blech.
And then we just started our climb back up. And then this new manager half done the move. He gave us a good offense, didn't give us a bullpen for years. Give us a bullpen, give us a bullpen, give us a bullpen, nothing. He gets fired. 2020 happens. 2021 happens. We don't
It
get a
was
bullpen because Dombrowski's evaluating talent. 2022, we're at the top. Our game.
it's just
Bullpen.
like,
We got a bullpen. We got some fielders. We got hitting. We're good.
and I even said
And
I didn't even talked about this. I mean, with the Girardi sighting in my head, it's just like this dude's not going to last not even 2 years. What happens? Almost not even a year and a
for
half in,
me,
he gets
I got excited because I was thinking, oh, remember 2009? That could happen. I'm like, wait a
yeah,
minute.
and that was bad.
I'm like, I'm like, I'm thinking like the front office is thinking. Remember 2009,
Yeah, and that
dude.
wasn't.
And then I was thinking, dude, he hasn't coached since like 2017 when he sucked in 2017. Like,
Yeah, this
what are you excited about?
and we saw the writing on the. We saw it in his first year with Philly. Didn't look great, I would say.
And then he every loss he would see that he wouldn't even talk to the players.
Yeah, and you had it is bad enough.
And then it became very public earlier this season that he would
Yes,
not
but
talk
Nick
to the players.
Castellanos had to air all, and rightfully so. I mean, we mean something has to be said publicly about this, and knowing that, even though we do give Nick Castellanos a lot of shit, but what we do give him a lot of props for is speaking.
He spoke up about this.
He spoke for the players on this roster.
Yeah, and the players agree with him, and they're like yeah. And then the GM saw what they were saying. They're like,
And then we come to find out when they fired him, he was out fucking Wawa getting a goddamn hoagie. Like that, you cannot make that much petty than the way that the Phillies are doing it now in the
Here's
postseason.
here's this man buying a milkshake and a hoagie,
And gets
getting a
fired.
text. You're fired. What? Like dang,
It's bad
man.
enough, but it's just like
The GM is probably like, enjoy your Wawa. That's the only time you're gonna experience that, you bum. Pretty
I
much.
mean, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's just like with this team, and this is also where Rob Thompson comes in, and this is way, and I'm gonna get and Snicker too. Like we do like or hate the Braves. I'll give Brian Snicker give him his
Snicker
his
owned that
flowers,
series.
man.
Snickers took that like a man.
He said, "Look, I mean, yeah, we got out."
He said,
said,
"Look, look, they were better. Got to give him props for that." And I respect
he also
Snicker
mentioned
for that.
we got hot at the right time. We played better baseball. Yeah, they were not ready for it. You know, I mean, that's
We
like,
weren't ready.
and that's shocking to hear for a team that won over 100 games this year.
It's even more shocking when you find out that the team saying this stuff is your rival.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And they were like, yeah, they played us tough. They're better. And they gave us props. I'm like, respect to you guys for that.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing: it wasn't just Snicker doing it. It was the whole team. Everybody was saying all that.
Even though which is ironic that before the postseason, we had this team going past the wild card, but yet here we are in the championship series, one win away from the World Series. Like I was like, what the fuck? Is this reality that we're living in at this point?
Yeah, literally. To me, all of this that's happening right now with the Phillies feels like a dream.
It does.
Feel real.
Not just the Phillies. The Flyers are actually surprisingly really good.
The Eagles are undefeated.
Who would have like? It's just like.
I'm like
absolutely.
I have this sensory overload. 3 of the sports teams that I like are good. What is happening?
It's just like, no, even though it took
their
time,
soccer team is good.
Yeah.
So make it 4.
Yeah, so 4 out of the 5 are actually pretty good.
What?
Who would have thought? We know the Union are also have been consistently good for years. Just unfortunately, there is some of the kind of situation because the last time they were so close to a championship, unfortunately, they fell to the NYCFC in the MLS Cup Finals, and just that was an yeah, Culture Stardust. We do not want to talk about the Sixers. That's a whole different story. And
the Sixers are not in our minds. We erased them out of our minds. They can go rot for all I care this season.
It's funny
and
too.
Doc Rivers can be fired. I don't care. He's the worst coach in the league. I don't care.
For those, what's funny, if the Flyers can be consistently good, it's like, I gotta start calling Flyers games because for a while.
Here's the problem, Rob. Can you pronounce any of their names?
Well, if they're Russian, absolutely not.
There's a lot of Russian players in the league.
I mean, not just Russian. We got Swedes, got Canadians. We got everything.
You got the Swedes. You got the Canadians. You got Icelandic people. You got people with the weird names.
I was thinking about pulling the Swedish chef from the Muppets, like bork bork bork. I was like, no, I can't do that. It's like, but it's just like. As Philly sports fans, we never seen the Sixers or Flyers before and won the first 5 games. Also, a big win over the Nashville Predators, who are somewhat okay, but not one of the best hockey. Well, then again, I saw that the Mavs beat the living crap out of the Memphis Grizzlies. Good Lord!
Oh my God, I saw that score. I was like, "Ooh,
ooh. Memphis, are you okay after that?" Good
Memphis,
Lord.
I think Memphis ain't okay. Memphis is.
But the Mavs are really. I would say too, the Mavs are going to make some very much loud noise in that Western Conference because we know there's going to be some teams that are going to take a step back.
Yeah.
I mean,
from what? Yeah.
Then again,
from what I saw last year, them making it to the conference finals last year.
That's impressive.
I'm like this team's going to be deadly. This team is one of the best teams in the West.
And shout out to the and shit, if you don't have Paul, God damn it,
Tyler,
I want to trade you for Paul George, you bastard.
no. I'm keeping Paul George. He gave me
You
so
bastard.
many points tonight. I don't care. I'm keeping him, Rob. You
but
trade decline. Trade
but
decline.
I,
Paul George. I thank you, man.
honestly
Thank you
though,
for
I
turning
think
back
another
the
team that,
clock.
as crazy as it sounds, I know we're kind of get some filler in here because we were kind of done talk about the Phillies and whatnot. I think there's another team that you got to get this team some love if they stay healthy, and that's the Clippers. I know the Clippers are not going to be the most well liked in Los Angeles because it's also like Lakers territory,
Here's the
but
thing. I feel like the Clippers are gonna get more love than the Lakers this year because the
because
Lakers
the
are
Lakers absolutely still stink. I mean, yes, I mean
bad.
they're all. I mean, look, LeBron.
I'm
Look,
telling you. I am telling you. They are the Los Angeles nursing home. That's what they are. They're not the Lakers.
God damn it! Fuck you.
I'm
God,
telling
almost
you.
choke me on my body armor, you bastard. Oh my god. I
That's what
just
I
think
did. Here's the thing. I saw you sipping. I had to say it.
oh my god, I'm tired of thinking of this too. Just imagine the Lakers had an AARP patch on their jerseys. That's gonna make it even much more fucking funnier
You
than
know what?
what
No, they lose so much because of their age. ARP right across. Dude, I'm telling you, they are the Los Angeles nursing home.
but for me, it's just like, look, whether you like the hate or Clippers, I mean, for those who are Mavs fans, yeah. But you have to realize too, yeah. But John Wall, for me, good lord, that's a big question mark for this Clippers team.
Yeah.
Just because of that. But if he stays healthy and balls out, I think that's going to work out for the Clippers with no problems.
I feel like the Clippers are the LA team that's gonna try to make the finals. That's what I
It's
feel
far,
like. The
and that
Lakers are nowhere even close.
and their development of young
So
players is that's what's holding them back. It's what look the Lakers. We knew that
the
they're a
Lakers are
historic
over.
franchise.
Here's the thing: the Lakers are over reliant on old stars,
I mean,
and
damn,
it's
it's
all
like
it's all because of LeBron. LeBron wants to build this super team of established talent.
and
It's
you have
like you
guys
need young
just
you
yeah.
need young guys to fill these roles so you can make the finals.
But yeah,
What
it's
happened?
just
Look what happened in 2020 when they won the finals. They had ADS. They also had KCP. They had Kuzma. They had who else? They didn't have Lonzo because they traded Lonzo over somebody.
but I mean, you
They
have to
had
really
young
think
talent. They had young talent to fill these
Kyle
roles.
Kuzma, you had THT, they traded away. I mean, good
You
lord.
had young guys. You had young guys that fills their roles. They're supposed to. Now you
But
have all these old 40-year-olds, middle-aged guys.
because AD
It's
can't
like
see the state. We knew that and AD
AD's
can't stay
hurt.
healthy.
Westbrook is now Westbrick.
I mean,
He's
damn.
breaking shots. He went 0 for like 11.
God, it's bad enough where he's actually making Ben Simmons actually look good. It's shocking
Dude,
the way this
and Ben Simmons only gets like 6 points per game. Like, what?
technically, yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, the dude's already fouled. I mean, he had like 4 points in one game and fouled out in the last 20 minutes. Like, how does that fucking happen? Like,
I don't know.
I don't want to. You want us to do the
Ben's
fucking math?
honestly, all I've got to say is karma. Karma,
Karma's a
bro.
bitch.
It is. It's a royal one. And it's hitting you.
But KD though, like I have no hard feelings for KD. I think he's going to go down with the greatest scores of this generation, just because I feel like the fact that he's been through so much, and the Thunder too. Though I got to give them some love too for a
The
team that's
Thunder is really developing their talent. And I've seen they didn't have the best season last year. Because they won like 15 games last year, if I remember correctly.
I think so. But I
Yeah.
mean,
But they look scrappy in every single game they're playing.
just wait till Chet
Very
comes
scrappy.
back.
And I feel like if they can build further and then get an established star to help with them, like an established veteran, they're making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
No
I
doubt.
think absolutely. It's just like this team. Like there's some teams though. I mean, how about the Pelicans? That's another team I feel like that's going to make a tremendous amount of noise in the Eastern Conference. After all the shit,
here's the biggest question mark that I have.
can
And you
Zion
know
stay
where I'm
healthy?
going and you know where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Will Zion Williamson stay healthy and stay
That's
on this
that's the
court?
$1 million question. If he does, Who's to say? That's a
They're
playoff
going to
team.
be playoff bound if Zion Williamson
Stays healthy,
conditions well
absolutely.
and stays on this court.
Mm-hmm.
Not going and getting a McDonald's burger every week or
Oh,
going and
Jesus.
getting like beefing up. Like you don't need to do that.
Oh, absolutely not. Like that's the most
You
stupid
need to build
shit.
muscle. You need and yeah, you can have a cheat day here and there.
But you're
It, to balance out your system and stuff like that. Because a lot of
mm-hmm.
your body do that. We don't expect you to become like this like huge bodybuilder. We just want you to be lean enough to where you can play and you don't get injured.
And this year he really took that to heart, though. I mean, he really looked at his.
He did, and I feel like if he stays healthy this year because of this, they're making the playoffs.
I mean, it's crazy enough that this dude, and for those who have not paid attention, because this dude had his name had all the hype in the NBA world because of what
So
this kid can
much
do.
hype. He was literally the number one pick for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's just
And
dude just couldn't.
he was slated to go there too. He was slated to go number one, and he did. He was one of the best. The dude made a shot with a broken shoe in college.
I forgot about that. His shoe when he got blown out of his shoe. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Like, how does that happen? Like
the back of his shoe got blown out.
And Jeff, yeah, I did send you the. And Jeff, I did send you the link too if you want to kind of pull up for a little bit because I got nothing else better to do.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is kind of like our late night just shoot. Well, we do have our own late night show.
It was a late night pregame, but we talk about so much it morphs into.
I mean, it was like because we don't do this often, but I mean, we did get done talking about the Phillies, but it's it's kind of fun to talk about things just kind of chill for a little bit.
Plus,
I mean,
and plus we can revert back to going back to the Phillies
absolutely,
topic,
or just talk about any other sports. They kind of
but they need to talk about the Phillies too if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
We can totally revert back to that, and then we can talk about any other stuff after.
And speaking of my buddy Jeff in the zone, what is good, my guy?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's looking good for you guys. You're up 3-1, so
shockingly.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm happy for you guys. You're the underdogs, so
I mean,
yeah, we are.
It's crazy because we even talked about this too. It's just like we never expected to be in this situation in the first place. I mean, it's just been typical Phillies fashion where we completely start out slow, whatever the case is. Play well in certain months and just fall. What's the word I'm looking for? Fall flat. There's what it. There's the. There's the
we
word.
always fall. We always fall flat in like late September.
It's typical,
and it looked like we were going to. It looked like we were going to that final week, and then we just like slowly crawled back into playoff contention. We won that crucial game against the Astros, clinched the playoffs, and then me and Rob thinking we're gonna get bounced in the first round. There's no way we're winning against the Cardinals. We won the 2 games. I'm like, okay. So,
but yeah, it's been. But yeah, I mean, it's been really, and yes, I know. Even though, and Jeff, I know you're a Blue Jays fan. Even though I don't want, I'm not the kind of guy that pokes fun, but I see where the holes lie. Yeah. Mostly in your bullpen. Your bullpen is atrocious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that bullpen needs a little bit of doctoring.
And I did say this. I didn't get a chance to say this, but because Blue Jays fans, exactly how we felt with an atrocious bullpen. We know that.
Mm-hmm. At least you guys made the playoffs with an atrocious bullpen. We couldn't. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
But yeah, I mean, but so far though, I mean, it's a good season by the Blue Jays. Just wasn't enough. God damn. But like Tyler said too, like I had the team going past the Cardinals, knowing what the Cardinals are. I mean, yes, they have guys that are on the tail end of their careers. Damn. Mm-hmm. But when we saw the Braves on the first round bye, I say, yep, this is where we're going to fall flat. Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't the case.
When we fell flat game 2, I'm thinking, yep, this is it right here. This is the start.
We took the next 2 in Philly.
Took the next 2 in Philly. I'm like, we're in the NLCS? What?
And like like this team is really. Yes, I get it. We're overachieving. Like we don't. It's like we don't. Shit, I don't like because me and Tyler said it's hard to think and hard
It's hard
to
to
feel.
put. Here's the thing: it's not hard to think. It's hard to put into words. Like how exciting this team is, and how great they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely too.
Mhm.
Philly was electric tonight.
Dude, the crowd always brings it when it's in playoff atmosphere. It doesn't matter if it's Phillies baseball,
And
Eagles football,
God,
Sixers
no,
basketball. They bring it.
Yeah.
but Phillies baseball though, it's been a good hot minute.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, man, even though the division series when the Philly crowd was getting rocking, it gives you chills for those who've been a diehard Phillies fan for years. You know
Every time they hit a bomb, Rob, and that crowd goes crazy in the playoffs, I missed that. Because last time we heard that was 2011, prior to this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, wow, I missed that. I felt like nostalgic, almost.
It's just like this team at times, it's just... Even though I mean, with the Phillies overall the last handful of years, they've been like up and down.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Phillies it's just one of the Philly sports teams. Yeah, I saw that, and trust me, when you
Did you see the tweet / video from last night? Crowd noise from a mile away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The dude literally walked down the street where he lived, looked both ways. The stadium's not even in sight, and you can hear it.
Because Philly is loud, and the fact that
you heard the crowd, and then you heard that stinking song.
Oh God!
That
why?
I'm not into it. I know it's after they win in the playoffs, but I'm not into it, man. I'm not.
Yeah. But it's just, Thompson, like I said, Thompson pushed all the right buttons to get this team where we need to be. I mean, has there been question moments? Absolutely. But for some reason, we won games with that. One of the most unorthodox ways that you could imagine. But
because when we look at it at face value, it's like, why did he do that? And then like later in the game, we're like, I see what he was doing.
That makes sense. And think about it too. During the Padres series, even though we jumped out a good lead, but knowing Rob Thompson's mindset is the fact just like we purposely shit the bed in game 2 and come back to Philly for 3 games. And that's pettiness at its finest at times with Rob Thompson in the most strategic way you can really think.
I came to that conclusion like the later innings. I'm like, we're tanking this game, aren't we? So we can come back for a 3-game series and win it in 3. Like, yo, this is petty. This is
like Atlanta all over again.
This is just petty.
Yeah, but you also got to think too. And we did talk about the Yankees too. And good lord,
Yankees they have no life. They have no life in that.
You shit the bed in the championship series. It's just like when they play a good team, they just seem to fall apart for some reason.
Yeah, they have no life in them. They're done. It's going to be Astros, Phillies. If the Phillies win tomorrow.
And thing is too, Tyler, the last time the Astros and the Phillies played in the postseason was back in the championship series in the 80s.
But you got to think that was a completely different team.
Mm-hmm. It was.
This team is stacked.
Yeah.
This team is stacked.
And
as much as we dog them for 2017, that team is still stacked.
I mean, think about it. And when you had Coach Johnson, he could say it's the same too. For a team that had, God, it's crazy nuts that you would look at as crazy that they were a national team. Yeah, they were at one point. This was years ago.
Yeah, I was like, I swear they were a National League team. When did they go to the AL? I'm like,
well, because you remember
Here's the thing that also puts into perspective about the Phillies, right? You know, the last time they made the playoffs, the Astros were a National League team.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so shockingly too, if you really remember too, if you're looking back at it, 2005. Remember back in 2005. Remember the Chicago White Sox were actually surprisingly good in the early 2000s. For some reason, just took a whole fucking left turn its entirety. Took a wrong turn to Albuquerque.
They went from they were like, we're going on to Championship City. No, we're going into Loserville.
Yeah,
and it showed.
it did.
Man.
But it's just like, it's crazy how much time has goes on. Like we've seen teams either evolve or just devolve. I mean, Chicago White Sox, we know that that's the definition of they just evolved into. I mean, yes, they have some good players over there, but just as entirely for winning, absolutely not. Because the AL Central is absolute shit, and that's the reason why. Like I said, that could be anybody's. It's basically like
Also,
I
they
would
made
say,
some really crappy trades in the all season this year.
Mm-hmm.
How
not just
would
that.
you trade? Why would you trade for Vince Velasquez?
Well, technically, he was a free agent, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Or why would you get him of all people?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
Did
did
you
saw
not
White
see
Sox.
how he? Did you not see how he played in Philly? He was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Technically, he was a 1-year wonder because remember that 16 strikeout game. He was almost the one best game he was known for. And since then,
he wasn't a 1-year wonder. He was a 1-game wonder. The
or
first game
wonder,
was good.
Yeah.
After that, he was dog crap.
Thanks.
But God, Lee, this dude Vince Velasquez is just one of those guys that want to make us Philly fans shoot ourselves in the head. Like this dude was just a heart attack waiting to happen.
Those games, it was like, ooh, bless you.
Yeah.
But you're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time that he gets to turn off my TV, like, up or losing this game. Like every time he starts, it was so bad.
Like I said, we appreciate that though, because a lot of times people don't want to be up between like a quarter to midnight. I got nothing else better to do. I got nothing else better to do since I'm off tomorrow from work. Well, technically tomorrow and Monday, so it's great enough for me.
Dude, I got.
But yeah, shout out to another Braves fan coming through. Absolutely. I mean, we have Wheeler going on the.
My dude, I have a disability. I don't work, so
yeah.
What was the Braves fan comment?
He said he wants the Phillies to win tomorrow. I mean,
listen, respect.
We got Wheeler going.
Respect.
We got Wheeler going.
That's the thing. Braves fans who own up and say, "Look, we were the better team in that series, and they're the better team in the playoffs." Respect to you guys.
I mean, I mean,
you guys are realistic fans, and I respect that. Honestly, and we gave you guys credit too. You guys had a tremendous season too.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give you your credit too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You guys had a tremendous season, and I was going in. We picked you as a superior team against us. We picked you against our team.
I even put on record said Braves in 5, and I would look completely wrong.
Dude, because when it comes to this team could kill us. They killed us all year this year, and we thought we were going to get beat that divisional round, and that shows how much talent you guys have over in Atlanta. So I have to give you guys credit.
Absolutely.
Thank you for giving us our credit. You guys deserve the same amount of credit from us. So
it's just this team. It's been really this season though could have been a lot. I mean, look, 87 wins. I'll take it in the last couple of years. But do I think we could have had a 90 win? Absolutely. If we didn't, but I mean, look, it's like I said.
If we didn't struggle to get into the playoffs,
I think we could have at least 92, 93 wins at the most.
I was expecting the way the season was going from June to about, say, early September. I was saying we could win 90 games the entire year. I can attest to that. Even on our show, I've said we could win 90 games.
Jeff actually asked a good question for us. Who will win the MVP for the NLCS for the Phillies tomorrow? Well, that's a very good question. That's a very interesting question.
Easy. The guy who's been balling for us in the entire playoffs, Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
because Bryce Harper's been one of our red hot players so far.
Yeah,
in this postseason.
I would have to give it to Bryce Harper on that one.
Yeah.
For pitchers, I would have to give it to either Wheeler or Nola for pitchers.
I'm going to have to give him more towards Wheeler because Wheeler actually has been better in the postseason.
Yeah, Wheeler has been better in the postseason.
I mean, Wheeler. I mean, Nola hasn't really been bad. I mean, it's that one start. I mean,
yeah, he had that one blunder in Game 2 of this series. He had that blunder.
But I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think he knew. Like I think Thompson and the rest of the team, like they want to purposely throw that game in San Diego and finish it in Philly like they did against Atlanta. Like we said, I mean, you were like I said, it's strategic, but it's also petty at the same goddamn time. It's just like
crazy petty.
Well, I mean, still, I mean, it's great to see brothers going at it, though. Don't get me wrong. Even though
dude, I don't really think the other Nola or our Nola is better than the other Nola because the other Nola schooled our Nola.
Pretty much, but if you look
at their Nola is better than our Nola.
Very true, but you also remember too, like I said, I mean, even though the regular season don't matter, but the younger brother still schools the older brother.
Playoffs, it's a different.
It's a whole. It's a whole. Even though you have seen each other,
players tend to play each other harder in the playoffs, and I feel like Austin Nola is better than Aaron Nola by that than the regular season. Regular season, yes, Aaron Nola seemed better.
And not to miss this too, and Nola has really proved his haters wrong about like, oh, he can't finish strong in September. Exactly. Where are the haters at now? Despite that one start, the dude's he really has rewritten the script like this dude can't finish strong in September, and which he has, which it's always been one of the biggest criticism for him. And me and Tyler know this about of how bad he is in September. I mean, the numbers show it otherwise. But I mean, it's just like this team. I don't know, man. It's just like the fact that we have a chance to could at least win a couple World Series games. It's hard to fathom to really feel that as Philly sports fans. It really does. No, not seen since the postseason in over. Oh God, not the VC. Oh Jesus Christ!
Wow,
I remember
that's a classic diss for us, man. And no,
it's funny. I still know how to work a VCR to this very day.
Honestly, Cowboys are not going to. The Cowboys are not gonna.
It's crazy. And speaking of that too, think of this too. The NFC East, though, I mean, it's really turned out to be one of the better divisions in football when it comes to the NFC.
The only bad team is Washington. That's the only bad team.
Exactly. 3 out of the 4 could actually make the playoffs if the season ended today. Plain and simple.
Yep.
But I mean, it's just wow. Like this Phillies team is really a shock in the world.
My brain feels like it's broken because of 3 teams being good in Philly. Actually, 4. Because it's a soccer team, which I don't really care for because I'm not really into soccer. But wow, you have Philly teams that are good, not just 1, not just 2, 3. Because I'm not counting the 4th because I'm not really into soccer.
I mean, it's not that bad to watch. Even though soccer is not one of the not popular, but
I don't. For me, I try to watch soccer. I think I try to watch.
I mean, look, that's respect. I respect that. And
hold on. I tried to watch it one time. I fell asleep. I couldn't get into it.
And Arku, not yet exactly. That's not just Philly sports teams, but what a time for sports. We're seeing teams that are coming out of the woodworks and surprising people. Like in football, we had the Jets being fucking good. Who would have thought that would be fucking possible?
The Giants. The Giants are 5-1. The Eagles are 6-0.
I mean, we knew what we're going to get into with the Eagles, though. I mean, that's kind of been
not really. I didn't expect them to go 6-0.
Nah, that is true.
I expect them to go maybe 10-7, maybe 11-6.
But we've been seeing analysts saying we could win 14 to 15 games at this pace. But if we do want to play really well, who's say we can go 17-0? That'd be fucking shocking in its own goddamn right. That would be interesting. But I wouldn't say because I'm not going to be pushing my buttons. I do think there's going to be some losses where that might surprise us. I mean, yes, coming out of the bye week, we have the Steelers, and they're not the greatest team by any stretch of the means. Well, then again, not like Carolina, who is absolute dog shit. But that's besides the point. Holy crap,
dude! You're trading one of your best running backs for picks.
And trust me, one of our best popular shorts on the channel. It's almost at over 1,200 views. When I dropped that, holy crap! And also, too, I'm pretty sure those 6 dislikes were from salty Cowboy or Panthers fans. Because let's be real, the Panthers were not going to go anywhere. Like at that point, we know that Bryant. Pretty much every single player on that team's on the trade block at this point. No, I mean, it's just like, what happened? Like, I think after 2015, it just really went downhill ever since then. When Cam Newton got hurt, he wasn't the same.
Cam Newton wasn't the same. Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield
Ugh,
isn't the
good
same
lord.
guy he was.
God
He had
damn.
that. He had that monster. He had that monster year, like
I think it was like 2018
2020.
or 2020. I think it was. Yeah, 2020 because it was. Yeah, his sophomore season.
Yeah, he had that monster season in 2021. He fell off hard, and then this year he's not good. Like, what is happening?
And for those who have not seen, even though I haven't seen my buddy Tyler's afternoon shows, the one team I did put on the grill, I think a couple times, is the Baltimore Ravens, and for good reason. The fourth quarter, it's always been the biggest weakness for the Baltimore Ravens. We've seen it this year. How do you blow a 3-score lead in the fucking fourth quarter? Like, I do not get it. Look, yes, I mean, yes, choking lead's not the best thing, but the fact you're up 3 fucking scores and you blow it and you still lose. Like the fact they're 3-3, though, I mean, their record should have been a lot better than what they're showing on the field.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to talk about the Sixers. That's a whole different. That's a whole different story. And then
Listen, RQ. We are all putting the Sixers on the grill,
and for good reason.
And for good reason, man. So keep them on the grill and light that
fucking Rivers.
Light that fire. Put Doc Rivers.
Yeah,
on the base.
We lost to the fucking Spurs, a rebuilding Spurs team.
We can't even win it. We can't even win a game. Yeah, you're right.
I told you this too. Like, I'd rather lose on purpose just to get rid of Doc Rivers. That's what I would do.
Here's the thing: we're terrible. After 2 games, I'm like, okay, they're trying
that
to gel.
True. And I'll say this too: I'm going to give Atlanta a lot of credit. The fact they're 3-3, that surprises me.
Yeah.
I thought they would be like 1-5 or 2-4 at the least. But
back to the Sixers though. After 1 loss, you're like, all right, they're trying to gel. After 2, you're like, okay. 3, it's like, yeah, they're bad.
And I find it funny that Sixers fans want to get rid of Embiid because he's the issue. Have you not really? It's like I'm trying to really wrap my head around this. For a guy, I had played the game of basketball in my life.
He's not doing his job getting to the paint. He's trying to jack up shots again.
And that's on Doc Rivers for scheming that play call.
It's not just on Doc Rivers. It's on the player and his decision making. It's not just on the coaching room. It's on the player. He needs to get to the paint and score. He's not doing it.
I find it funny too that shit. I mean, and for those who've not seen our fan base, at times the Sixers fan base it can turn into a clown show, and it's funny enough to the point where
remember when he threw popcorn at Westbrook?
Oh, that was funny.
I know it wasn't. No, Rob, that was not funny. I hated that. I clowned the fans that did that. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not just that, and that too. It's just like, and this. Remember this too. This was actually Redsport West actually was somewhat decent at the time. This was when, was it Washington?
It was Washington because it was the first.
It's been a fucking forever. Because
it was the first playoff round. It was. I think it was 2020.
Oh God, probably one of the worst. It's just
it was the next year. It was the next.
Yeah, it was 2021. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the next year. But yeah, I have to agree with RQ here. Fire Glenn Rivers.
I mean,
fire Glenn Rivers. Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
there is no reason this team should be 0-3 right now. No reason.
It really isn't. Like, yeah, we lost to Celtics. Yes, that's one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. Yes, same with Milwaukee. You know, I mean, we should have been.
I'm like, okay, we lost to Milwaukee.
2 good teams.
Okay, we lost to Boston. Whatever, but we lost to a bad team.
To San Antonio, that is rebuilding.
Who's supposed to be tanking?
Yeah, it's so early though. But in the way that in our case, dude, I don't see it.
In our case, there's point of no return. It's Philly basketball we're talking about. There's no point in returning. Heck, we went like 0-10 in 2016. Didn't come back from that.
So
we were 0-3 in 2017, and we came back from it. But, dude, there's no point. There's no point because we got too many old guys in the bench. We got too many players. We have too many players in the starting lineup that have no heart.
Oh yeah, trust Arco. Don't get me started because I'm going to wind up putting my head through the fucking wall. If it's the same thing in the
if we have a bad record 21 games in,
then we know where the issue lies.
We're going to rant and we're going to yell
and good for reason.
Fire
good reason.
Doc Rivers.
Because at this point we saw shit. I mean, I even talked about fucking Dan Burke, who was our defensive specialist. We played so much better under guys that is not named Doc Rivers. For the love of God, you got Sam Cassell. You got Dan Burke.
We played better with Brett freaking Brown.
God, I hate to hear that, but that is absolutely fucking true.
We played better with Brett freaking Brown. It was terrible.
And here's the funny part. And because knowing Key, for those who don't know, Key and DeBill's also know the Philly Sports content creator. She knows she does want Brett. I mean, she wants Brett Brown, but I say no, because have you seen what this man has? This dude just was not great, but we played smoother basketball than what this team is showing us, which is sad. Even said this too. I wanted Larry Brown out of fucking retirement.
But here's the thing. Remember 2019?
Oh, don't remind me.
Almost got us to the finals with Brett Brown. You know what the issue really was? It wasn't Brett. It was Ben Simmons.
Oh,
the entire time. And now we're reaping what we're sowing by firing one guy for a guy who can't even win a game for us.
And not to mention too, he doesn't score that much with Brooklyn. So I mean, damn. And Brooklyn's not even better either.
Hold on. We fired Brett Brown, who got us to the playoffs. He almost got us to the conference finals, but Ben Simmons couldn't get out of his own way in that game. We fire him after that. We get Doc Rivers. Yes, he got us to the playoffs. For another second round exit this year.
We might even see the playoffs.
We're looking like early on that we're going to miss the playoffs. I know it's early, but still.
Hell, if we can keep it like this, we might even miss the play-in tournament. Yeah,
we're gonna miss in general if we keep playing like this.
At this point, however, the purpose to just fire Doc Rivers,
and the majority of this is coaching.
I mean, because you have a guy like Sam Cassell. Let's be real. I mean, he has some really he's done. I'm going to give Sam Cassell where credit's due. He has turned James Harden around to be what he was almost like not even like 5 years ago. With the way that Harden's been playing, so far in the first two or three games, averaging over 60 points combined in the first 3 games. Who would have saw that coming? I mean, look, there is some positives, but there's just a lot of fucking negatives. I mean.
To me, watching this team, I can't find one positive.
Like I said, yeah.
There's no positives with this team. None.
And if I'm like any of the players, though, like I could imagine the frustration that's been building against Doc Rivers the last 2 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And
also, the GM should be in question too. Why would you get old guys from your Rocket days?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's
ugh. I mean, damn, we've dealt with some dumb shit over the years as a franchise. Not won a title since 1983, and what's shocking, we're going to be reaching 40 years if we don't fucking win one, which we're not going to see in our lifetime at some point. Because remember, the closest we seen in our lifetime was back in 2001 when we had Allen Iverson, D.K. Mutombo, Eric Snow, Aaron McKee. I mean, good Lord, the list can go on and on. Yes, I get it was a stacked Lakers team that had Kobe, prime Kobe Bryant, and a Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, damn, you also have Ty Lue, wasn't really that great, but I mean, you kind of get where I'm going with this. But it's just like, it's sad. But the positive is, as a Philly sports fan, but we did get to see a Super Bowl in our lifetime. We really should have had 2.
We got to see a Super Bowl and a World Series. We never got to see a Stanley Cup. We never got to see a finals.
And that's it.
And we could possibly see a Stanley Cup in the future somehow.
Oh, God, if that's the fucking case. I'm going to bang my head against.
I'm going to go crazy.
Because I think, and like I said, too, it's also like coaching at times has not been the best in Philly sports because there's always that one select few, no matter if it's in hockey, basketball, football, or baseball, for some reason, it just never works out. Well, with the Flyers case, in the first 5 games, they're 4-1 under John Tortorella. We've been through so many different coaches over the years. I mean, a guy like people tend to forget Peter Laviolette took us to the Stanley Cup Finals. Tyler, I hate to remember. Surprisingly, this still rubs me the wrong way.
Don't do it. Don't you bring it up.
We blew it against the Blackhawks.
You mother.
We blew it against the Chicago Blackhawks. You still had Patrick Kane in his prime.
2010.
You still had Toes over there. I mean, good Lord.
You had to bring up 2010, did you?
Unfortunately, as a Fly, I mean, look, it's for a guy from me who's never really just stopped watching Flyers games because after all that, when they became super bad, well, unless other than the 2020, the bubble, that's besides the point. But it's just the Flyers has been very fucking inconsistent. You know what I mean? But having a guy like Jordan Tortorella who's been there and done that, yes, he has a Stanley Cup in the early 2000s with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I thought when we first brought him in, my initial reaction to it was like, okay, I think this guy, because look, from the outside looking in, he looked like he's some the kind of guy that defines Philadelphia. Like the guy who want to squeezes every drip of blood, sweat, and tears out of his players. We're seeing it. Tony DeAngelo's fucking physical as hell. Yes, I mean Carter Hart, when he's healthy, one of the greatest goaltenders we have. And it's just we have guys, Scott Laughton, that's having a good year. Cam Atkinson, the fact we booked his ass up from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Who the fuck saw that coming? Like, goddamn. Like this, like because even Tortorella even coached Cam Atkinson. Like, it makes it much more simpler. Yes, I know we have made some stupid decisions. One comes to mind. Why not Oscar Lindblom? What the fuck?
Why are you bringing up our pain, bro?
Well, this is what we do.
Brought
this
up 2010. We
as Philly sports fans. We live through the pain. Just because I
don't. Here's the thing: it says live through the pain, not we live through the pain. Dang.
But it's just been. Jeff, who's your hockey team?
Canucks. We're not looking good this year.
Canucks fan.
I mean, look, I'll give your Canucks a lot of credit too. I mean, you guys play tough against us.
I know, just struggling defense.
And again, at least you can't be worse than the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's
no.
I'm sorry, I had to go there because the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a huge. You know what? You thought Philly sports had bad it. Good Lord. How about the Maple Leafs fan base? I mean, that's definition of pain. Year in, year out. Like, good Lord. I mean, the only time you ever saw one championship was the NBA Finals. You have not seen the World. And Jeff, I hate to bring it up, but you have not seen the World Series since 1993. Unfortunately, that was against us.
The
wild thing
fucking blew
it. God, that was one of the most. Even though it was before our time. It's just like
you had to walk it off in the ninth, though.
Yeah, you had to put. I mean, you already beat us when we're down, but yeah, you had to put the salt in the wound.
Had to.
Here's the thing: Canada has given us 2 heartbreaking moments: 1993 and 2019.
Oh, don't remind me! Don't bring 2019.
Remember the lucky bounce?
Which I call some bullshit. I would say that much.
That was lucky.
But I mean, look, with tough. Look, I'm gonna look. Kawhi, say what you like, whether you like him or hate him. I think he's still a good top 10 play, top 15 player in the league. Don't get me wrong. When he's healthy,
for me, I don't even think he's top 15. I think he's top 10.
Yeah, well, that too. First of all, he should. Let's be real. I think he should never left Toronto because I think I think with him, Scotty Barnes. Who else was over there? You got. What's his name?
Van Vliet over there.
Van Vliet, thank you. You also got Pascal Siakam, Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
Not Bobby Boucher, not the water boy.
No.
That'd be funny. But
yeah, not the one whose mom says football is the devil. All right? Not that dude.
But yeah, it's been.
Oh man, but dude, Canada has given us pain for 2 years.
But then
our
again,
franchises.
and like I said, the only pain that the Canadian fans have ever seen was in Toronto. I guess against with the Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs.
Like my thing is, it's like, how are you so that you do well the regular season, but you're constantly at first round exit year in, year out, and nothing fucking changes.
Yeah.
Like that, I find it very funny. And look, if you want to laugh at our pain, we'll laugh at the Maple Leafs pain.
It is. I don't know.
I mean, take it from us. I mean, the Flyers, good lord. Like Tyler said, we have not seen a Stanley Cup since my grandparents' teenage days, or in this case,
My mother was born the year they won the title.
Yeah, we have not seen a World Stanley Cup since 1975. Whoever knows a Broad Street
Bullet, man.
But I mean, we did have our moments over the year, entire of our franchise history. I mean, shit. Who is to say we are the only hockey team to beat the living crap out of the Soviet Union in the early '70s? Who would have thought that would be possible? In the Soviet Union at the time, we're actually a really good. They already had a good hockey team in the '70s.
We beat the Soviet Union in the '80s too.
And my grandfather told me about
that. Miracle game.
That too, and you also remember too. My grandfather told me this too. Like, he watched when the Flyers played the Union or the Red Army. They never came out of the locker room because they think it's like, oh, we're playing too tough. It's fucking hockey, for the love of God! Like the Russians were so fucking weak against the Flyers. It's like, really? You're like literally, like you're so like we had also got like
playing hockey. You're hitting each other
without helmets at the time. Well, I mean, the Flyers never played without helmets at the time. But like, you know, we do have our moments though.
You're checking the guy into a wall.
Like it's like
you're gonna cry about that.
Even though the NHL has its scariest moments, I remember. Oh God! When I can't remember his name, but this dude had his jugular.
I was going to say that. Remember the guy that had his throat?
Yeah, when he almost bled out on the ice. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, I was
like, died on the ice.
I was like, God damn! And the fact he came back to play the next few games is like,
dude. Every time I see that highlight, I'm like, turn the camera.
Cringy.
I'm like, turn the camera.
It's like, how is this dude not dead? Because that's a lot of blood loss. A lot of people would. Oh my good lord!
Yeah,
but I mean, the fact that he also played.
The man got stitched up and he played the next day. I'm like,
down.
That's just like nowadays you don't see that anymore because like, it's just. I mean, yes, I mean, sports overall though they have their darkest moments. I mean, like I said, hockey.
Yeah, I remember baseball when they had a fan tried to catch a home run ball and he.
Oh,
it was death.
I forgot about that. Oh my God, that's like oh
he
yeah.
Tried to catch a ball for his son, and he just went.
And just gravity. Yeah, you can't fight gravity. I will say that much. And I really don't hate to laugh because it's true. You really can't fight gravity. Gravity. It's just like it. Like
he tried to reach over the rail that was there.
Yeah, I think it was in the second deck too. Oh my God!
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't second deck. It was first. It was the first. It was like one of the lower seats, and there was like a pit, a long pit.
Right. God.
And he went.
God. I mean, look. Like I said, I mean, you can't fight gravity, but my lord. I mean, like you said, I mean that you got a hockey player get his fucking throat slit, gets stitched up in the next few days, and comes back to play. I'm like, damn. It's just like,
and there was also a moment. I think it was in Pittsburgh not too long ago where a fan fell from the second deck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I think this was I think a Pirates. Well, we got to think to what.
No, it wasn't a Pirates game. It was a Steeler game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, sports in general, though, it's been fun. I mean, there's some good, the bad, and some just downright ugly, but sometimes scary moments at the same time. But just really looking at it, it's just for me. It's just like this team. It's just it's crazy. Sports is a crazy thing. You know, I mean, it's just like, I mean, yes, I mean, there's some funny. God, sports in its entirety has some of their funny moments. I mean, God, that I remember watching this clip on YouTube where This was back in the 70s where the Vikings were up going. I think one of their players went the wrong goddamn direction. I was like, no fucking way. He just pulled that. He went the opposite direction, and you had to get tackled by your own teammates to stop you from going the other way. Oh, and then
You
again,
mean the guy who tried to run?
yeah, and
to the other end of the end zone?
to their opponent's the end zone. It's like, what goes to, like, yeah, I mean, look, it's funny, but then again, it's just like, or the most infamous moment that people still dog us on, that's booing and throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. Who remember
in the 60s? In the 60s,
it's in
we weren't even a part of that.
I know my grandparents were. I mean, they were, but it's just, yeah. But that's pretty much what most of and shit to this day that the national media says like, oh, Philadelphia like known for like rowdy. Wait, yes, I know our crowds are really rowdy. Absolutely, we're very one of the most passionate fan bases in sports. Now we have our bad moments, absolutely, but yet, this is where the narrative comes in that Philly sports is always a bad thing. But when everybody else like acts like fucking morons, but when it comes to Philly, it's a whole different narrative in its entirety. And I'm really sick.
Here's the thing. When other fan bases do bad things, right? You only focus on the fans, the specific fans doing the bad thing.
Yeah.
When Philly fans do the bad thing,
it's like they
lump us all together into one.
And people don't realize like we do. Yeah, all fan bases have their bad apples. Absolutely. I mean, what fan base does?
I can sit here and say the Eagles have bad apples. I will say that they do.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
They have a lot of bad apples. I'll tell you that much. But then they lump that Eagle fans or also Phillies fans that are part of that bad crew. I went to a Phillies game. Not one fan did anything.
Like, this is why the narrative surrounding the city of it's like it's sickening at times. But don't get me wrong, the Philly sports, the fan base has their funny moments. I mean, think about this too. God, the most iconic moment is where this one Vikings, this lady who's a Vikings fan. This was back in 2017 when we kicked the that's like I started cracking up. It's like, and it's funny too. Looking back this year when we played the Vikings, damn it! Like, can we not just replicate the same score that we did in 2017 just to rub salt in the wound? For the love of God, that'd be funny as hell. I mean,
we nearly did it. We nearly did it, but we ended up winning 24-7 instead of 28-7.
Mm-hmm. No, it was 38-7 in 2017.
Oh, it was 30. Oh,
it was 40 up on the goddamn on the Vikings. Good Lord,
we gave them literally in that NFC Championship game. We gave them that first drive. That was it.
Yeah,
we didn't let them score after. We were just scoring. We were running up the score. It was great.
But I think overall, though, but yeah, it's just like sports in general. I mean, it's fun. I mean, yes, there's some pain. I mean, we know it firsthand, but not this year though. I mean, I would say that much, just because I mean, I feel like we've done a really good job. Really, just try to not say I mean, for the Phillies, it's more like a retool than a rebuild. I mean, the Eagles was a retool. I mean, good Lord. I mean, we fleeced the freaking goddamn Saints twice. We fleeced the Tennessee Titans for AJ Brown for 2 goddamn draft picks and signed into an extension at the same time on draft day.
Yep.
I mean, shit, getting Jordan Davis, also Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round. Which
I really don't think Nakobe Dean is panning out. Let's face it.
Which is a shame, though, man.
The last game, he didn't really play too well.
Well, it's just like they're not playing. They're not giving any defensive snaps, though. I mean, then again, also we did bring in Kazir White to help with the linebacking core, which has really
we gave him that. And Nakobe Dean is pretty much a backup, so I can get that. But yeah, we have linebackers, we have cornerbacks, we have an offense.
And yet, that's another thing too. This is where I feel the national media and the sports and different sports fan bases kind of drive me nuts, because like, oh, the NFC's got a cupcake schedule. Well, no shit, because we always had an easy schedule. For years? We always had an easy. Not just us, not just Dallas, not just the Giants, not just the Washington. I'm not calling the Commanders because they ain't commanding jack shit. Even though I'm sorry, it's just I know that's a bad pun, but you gotta get that's kind of
No, it's funny.
it's
It's
a
great. It's
stupid
funny.
pun, but it's funny. Not to laugh at my own shit. But
Not to laugh at my own shit, because he's to laugh at his own shit.
like sometimes I don't take myself seriously. Sometimes with my own stupid puns, if that makes sense. But
Hey,
you
don't take yourself seriously about that, bro.
I really don't, because and I still find it funny too that no, it's just like the Commanders ain't unless they got they potential to be good unless they want to. Now, I mean, they always had their moments to the point where they want to be good, but they're really not. They have the talent to do so, but then again, it's the owner, and they had not had a solid quarterback since what? It's been forever.
You haven't had a solid quarterback since RG3, and you ruined him.
I mean, you ruined him. You ruined Kirk Cousins. I thought he was pretty decent with Washington.
Kirk Cousins wasn't ruined. He was just okay. He was just like middle of the road guy. So they didn't really want a middle of the road guy.
Or this way, you almost completely killed Alex Smith. And remember that leg injury, the exact same leg injury that Joe Theismann had in the franchise. Exact same injury.
Nearly took away this man's career. He came back, balled out for you guys. Still got bounced out of the playoffs.
And you let that man. And that's my mistake. Before he walked to Kansas City before they drafted Patrick Mahomes. And I'm surprised why teams nowadays are still kicking on that. Like, you had Patrick Mahomes right in your fucking laps. Like, how do you? I don't get it. Like, how do you pass up on that?
You pass up on Patrick Mahomes and you get Taylor Heineke.
Not to mention, too, the Giants or the Bears took Mitch Trubisky with a third overall pick, which, let's be real, Mitch Trubisky, realistically, is more of a second-round pick for me. Second to later.
He's like one of those okay quarterbacks, but he's not going to lead a franchise anywhere.
No, but we've seen it. One guy out of that draft class has really turned out to be that guy, and that was Patrick Mahomes. I mean, damn. But then again,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You took Taylor Heineke.
Wait,
Heineke.
This was what, 2018?
I don't know what year Taylor Heineke, but you could have got Patrick Mahomes in some capacity in draft. But after that, it could have been a few seasons after. You get Taylor Heineke.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, why did you pass up on Patrick Mahomes? You had a franchise quarterback right there, and you didn't pick him.
Oh, this was no, Patrick Mahomes in 2017. Oh, that's all right. So,
but that also pains me too.
All right, so
because we took that bum Carson Wentz that year.
No, that was 2016.
Oh, right.
We took. Yeah, Ty, you don't want to hear this. We took Derek Barnett in 2017, 14th overall.
Derek Barnett's not that good. Derek Barnett's not that bad.
See, Washington, I don't think they even had a first-round pick in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, because you had Myles Garrett going number 1 overall, which makes sense. I mean, he actually turned out pretty well for Cleveland, the all-time sack leader.
Yep.
Then you had Trubisky number 2, Solomon Thomas 3, Leonard Fournette was 4, Corey Davis 5, Jamal Adams, he is complete ass of a safety nowadays. God, ever since that I'm the best in the nation meme, like, yeah, you ain't best. John Ross was a bust because of that, of his speed. Oh, Mike Williams went 7th overall. Christian McCaffrey. Now, I will talk about it. If you've not seen the Christian McCaffrey short, but dude, that was a stunner.
Dude, that's when I figured out that Carolina is all in on this rebuild. They're not going to be. They thought they were going to be somewhere. They thought they were going to be somewhere with Baker Mayfield. They thought they could fix Baker Mayfield, and they can't.
Nope. An entire thing of this too. You had Hassan Reich still on the goddamn board in 2017. He went 14th. 13th overall by the Arizona Cardinals.
You could have freaking took him.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Washington even. Wow. I mean, yeah, Tre'Davious White turned out to be pretty well for the. Trying to think who. Let's see who trying to turned out. Myles Garrett, Fournette, Corey Davis has been better since I think with the Jets. Mike Williams. I mean, still one of the most. Shout out to Clemson for producing him. I would say that much. And same with I really hate to say it, but I ain't saying another guy that was a Clemson alumni. I ain't saying it.
Oh, you mean
yeah, you know who?
Mr. Massage friendly guy?
Mm.
Mr. Massage hanky panky dude?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Batman?
God.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
So Taylor Heineke was part of No, Heineke went undrafted in 2015.
Oh. Why would you pick up Heineke? You could have had Mahomes in the draft prior.
Well,
or not prior, after that.
Because remember, Washington didn't even have a first round pick back then in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
That just baffles me. That just baffles me, man. Why would you not?
I mean, their first pick was in the second round. They took where the hell are they at? Let's see. Where the hell? I just saw it. Oh, they took Ryan Anderson, outside linebacker, 49th overall in the second round.
Freaking who?
Exactly.
Out
of Alabama, and he. Trying to think who else.
That was when Alabama was still on a streak of guys not panning out in the league,
which is shocking to looking at it nowadays. Wow, Joe Mixon was a second round pick by the Bengals in 2017.
Yep.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yep.
Let's see who else. Juju was a second rounder.
Juju, yeah.
Awuzie, wow, Awuzie, really? That's an interesting one. Chidobe Awuzie from when he was with Dallas in 2017.
Yep.
Trying to see. Wow. Cooper Kupp was a third round pick by the Rams, 69th overall. Very nice. Alvin Kamara. Sorry, I had to go there. God, really, Kamara? Then again, I don't think Tennessee was as dominant as they are, because good Lord, Tennessee's putting a fucking beating on teams nowadays. Chris Godwin out of Penn State was a third rounder.
Yep.
Let's see, Kareem Hunt, third overall in 2017. Let's see, Kenny Golladay. It turned out pretty okay with Detroit, but a complete bust with the. Oh, Rasul Douglas, and our third round pick was Rasul Douglas, 99th overall out of West Virginia.
He was good for that 1 year, and then he just fell.
Yeah, until when he played with the Packers, and that's all.
And I'm like, now he's balling with the Packers. I'm like, where was this production after 2017?
It's been. Whew. Let's see. So Washington also took.
Rob, when did we take Avonte Maddox?
Avonte Maddox. God, if I can. Avonte Maddox was 2018.
Okay, because he's panning out for us because he's a really good slot corner.
He was. Let me see. I got to check the 2018 draft class. That's very interesting to reminisce on that 2018 draft class. Let's see who won. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Tell you, want to know who the number one overall pick was in 2018?
Are we really going through the entire draft?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see. Wow, Lamar Jackson was the 32nd overall pick in the first round.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Let me check. Is it? Wow, if let me see. Where is it? Matt Pryor, that was a bust. Wow, Boston Scott was sixth round pick out of Louisiana Tech. Well, thank you for that. But I mean,
Yeah, not
not
really.
really
Don't
panning
thank
out.
us for that because Boston Scott has not done next to no.
Where the hell? How far? Let me see. Do we even had a fifth round pick? I don't think we did. No. Oh, okay. So Avante Maddox with the fourth round pick.
That's
125th.
that pick panned out. That pan pick.
Also, we had another guy, Josh Sweat. He was another fourth rounder.
That definitely panned out.
Trying to think. Wow. I mean, let's see. Boston Scott's kind of turning out to be not that great. Nowadays, anyways. Trying to
Yeah,
see.
when he
Wow.
first got drafted, he was good for like a few years, and then he just sucked.
Matt Pryor never really panned out with us. I don't even know where he's at now. I'm trying to think. Who else did we have in 28? Oh, that's right. Forgot about Jordan Mailata was our seventh rounder. I forgot about that year.
And he was looking like a bust for like the first year, and then he was just starting to put it together year by year by year. And now he's
Well, we also,
dominant.
and not to mention too, Ty, we also thought about, we're seeing a guy coming from a rugby background, so we didn't know exactly what we're going to get out of a guy like six.
And
Like six,
I've said this countless times on our other streams. This man went from not knowing how to put on football pads to being one of the most dominant guys on our roster. It's great.
But yeah, I mean, other than that though, like it's been very interesting so far. Oh, even though nowadays, I mean, like I said, I mean, Howie, despite him, we've been talking here for years. Has really, like I said, has been. We know he been rectified all the. But yeah,
And I
but
wouldn't say we dogged him for years. I would say for the past few, like maybe
about 2 or 3 years at this.
2, 3, 4 years, we've been dogging him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say we've been dogging him the entire time. Like 2018 to now, we've been dogging him. That was the thing.
Yeah, but other than that, though, I mean, it's just been. But other than that, though, like finally,
tremendous time to be a Phillies sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome time. The Phillies win this one by a score of 10-6.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's the deciding game. Game 4, 5.
Game 5
is the deciding game 5. Will the Phillies go to their first World Series since 2009? Crazy to say that. But
well, we'll see what happens. But
if they do it, I'll be going crazy tomorrow. I'll be going nuts.
Mm-hmm. But I would be going live for that game as well.
Yeah, so watch my boy Rob. I'm probably gonna just watch game 4 with my mom. So I'm just like, Mom. So you'll be with just Rob again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm most likely gonna do the game 1 of the World Series. I usually do game 1s with you. And then I just watch the rest by myself or with my mom. But tonight I had to watch with myself because she went out and saw.
Oh yeah.
Went on a movie date, so I was like, all right, we're gonna.
And then you'll see us again on Monday for another episode of Between the Lines at 5:00 for all things MLB because we have a lot to talk about.
And then on Monday at 6:00.
Maybe, yeah, but between 6 and 6:15. Hopefully that works. Because who knows how long because between lines is between 5 and 6. So let's try to at least do 6:15, 6:30. Because after that, I got nothing else better to do.
I would do 6:30. That gives me enough time to wake up, watch review.
And hopefully don't freaking forget until I have to do it again.
Freaking
But
I forgot like the last two. I forgot the last two pay-per-views. I feel so bad for you fans like that are like holding oh, I can't wait till Monday because I got this. Or I can't wait.
And then you don't wake up till like what almost 5:45, and you don't realize it.
Not quarter. No, I don't. No, I don't wake up 5:45. I wake up for like
you don't think,
dude. Like I usually wake up around like 12-ish on a good day, and like 4 on a bad day where I'm like sleeping. But it depends, and I might if I am up late on a Sunday night. I'm probably just gonna skip out on watching Sunday Night Football and watching the pay-per-view. I don't know.
Well, Sunday Night Football, you got the Dolphins and the Steelers.
I'm watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh man, Prime Night Games has been horrible this year.
Dude,
Well,
Thursday night games have been dog crap except for last week. Last week was actually
except for Bengals and Tampa Bay or the Dolphins wasn't bad.
and,
Well,
the Bengals
it
and
was just
Dolphins wasn't
scary.
bad. It was it was just like very scary because of the Tua situation. That was more so talked about because of that, not the game itself. But
It was a good
the-
game though.
the last few weeks for Thursday night football has been like a slow crawl. It's been bad. I've been skipping out games. That's how bad they are.
I mean, shit. The next Thursday night game for the Eagles is in Houston against the Texans.
And that's probably going to be a blowout if
I
it
wouldn't be
goes in our
surprised.
favor and we don't crumble in the second half.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But other than that, though, for those who want to see Sixers content, that might not happen for a while because holy crap, that might
We're not doing
yikes.
Sixer stuff. We're not doing Sixer stuff until they start doing something.
Hey, Jeff, man, it's a pleasure having you on, man. Because, like I said, I mean, it's been a while since we had anybody on this channel other than, the regulars, I would say. But other than that, though, like it is about 2:00 in the morning, and I have to go to the bathroom. So my apologies for that. Because I just chugged 2 of these fuckers down, and yeah, so yeah.
Dude, your
And trust me-
bladder is like this.
Yeah, pretty much. And also too, strawberry banana body armor is a go-to. But
Hey, that's shameless plug right there. So
with that
Yes,
being
body
said,
armor.
though, I want to try to at least get some sleep because the Phillies game's at 2:37 first pitch.
oh dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then hopefully I'll try to be up in the morning for the NFL morning show because, good lord, there's going to be some teams that I want to try to pull in the grill. That's going to be fun, and yeah. But with that being said, appreciate Jeff for joining us for a little bit and just kind of just ranting and rambling on for the last 30 to 45 minutes, give or take, because we're over 2 hours at this point. With that being said, though, appreciate everybody coming on. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.